TV.com. I'm Valkyria and I'm here with all anchors, and we will guide you through the game for the third place of the Dutch Championships 2015.
Yes, we are. Gonna try to make it. We'll hope it will be a nice game, of course, and we will tell you everything there is to know about the game.
Hopefully, much to see. We are gonna watch the bout, the Rotterdam Death Row Honeys versus the Rockcity Rollers from Utrecht.
Yes. So both teams actually already played each other this tournament. They're coming full circle as they started the tournament facing each other. Now they're finishing off in style for third and fourth place, facing each other once again. So first game was a very tight one, won by Utrecht in the end by Rockcity Rollers. So but a different day, different game. So we'll see what that gives.
And what a game that was, with a score of 181 points for Rotterdam and 211 for Utrecht in the end. And it was decided in the last couple of jams only. We had a couple of lead changes, very, very tight, very close game.
It was very exciting. It was actually my first in-house on the tournament, so it was directly into the vibe, and it was a defining game for the rest of this tournament, because every game so far has been exciting, so much fun. So I'm betting this one will be just the same.
At least from my perspective, the win of Utrecht was a little unexpected, because Rotterdam came in as a high-seeded team into the tournament.
I mean, Rotterdam, of course, on the previous Dutch championships, they came in third, so they were a bit as well, not one of the favorites, but still they were tipped off as a possible third once again. So it probably was a surprise for Utrecht themselves as well, but they've played throughout the tournament very well. They've got some very good players, some high quality, and I think it will be a tight game once again, because Rotterdam, they had a really good win this morning, very tight one as well. Must have been a morale booster. So
that was a very, very close one. And let's have a brief look at the games that both of the teams are playing in the rest of the tournament. Utrecht, the win over Rotterdam yesterday, brought them straight up against Amsterdam yesterday in the afternoon. And Utrecht were actually keeping very, very well against Amsterdam.
Yeah, because we know Amsterdam, of course, they're in the finals, very strong team, very experienced. Utrecht did very well, although if you would just only look at the scoreboard, it would seem that the distance between both teams was bigger, but on the track, very close to each other. So we'll just have to wait out. They've been doing very well, and I think they will do everything they will give everything they've got to take home the bronze.
And as well, Rotterdam was playing 2 more games this tournament. The first one was against Groningen after the loss to Utrecht. That was quite a clear decision with 429 points for Rotterdam, 75 for Groningen.
Yeah, it was Groningen. It was a hard defeat for them. Groningen, of course, not an experienced team as Rotterdam, and it showed on the track. It was just Rotterdam was all over the place. They were a lot better and on every level. So it was a logical win for Rotterdam, and that took them to the next game this morning. Very early start for them. That might be a little bit of disadvantage. We'll see today, because they had to get up early and play against Enschede at even 9:30 a.m. So that was a tough one.
Yeah, but then again, Utrecht had a game after, and it looks like from the level in the house, I would say we go into the skate out. So we would just like briefly introduce you to the teams. First one skating out will be the Rockcity Rollers from Utrecht, playing in the black jerseys.
For the Dolls, number 00 Lucky Monster, number 112 Sneaky Sweetheart, number 13 Beelzebex, 9 Fox, number 22 Dalai Drama, number 3 Scoldilux, number 4 Amber Alert, number 505 Esmede, number 55 Footloose, number 711 Peekaboo Panda, and number 72 Chef, number 81 Tomahawk, number 9 Anthrax, and number 981 the Captain Mode of Control.
Right, and there we see the Rockcity Rollers taking another round on the track. And as we all know, the in-house skate heads take a little bit longer. The broadcast.
They need a proper introduction to the audience, of course, and Rockcity Rollers, they will be playing in black this game. So the team colors black and red, but the jerseys are black for this game. So if we'll talk about the black team, you'll know we'll be talking about Rockcity Rollers.
Exactly. And we're just going to take another moment, have a brief recap until Rotterdam is skating out. Rotterdam in a game against Enschede in the early morning, taking a 1-point win from Enschede, which brought him into the final game of the day, playing for game 3. In case you only just tuned in, we're in the middle of the skate outs for the teams. You are watching rollerderbytv.com, and you're watching the game for the 3rd place of the national championships of the Dutch roller derby. Rockcity Rollers Utrecht versus the Rotterdam Death Row Honeys, which are coming out in the white jerseys in a very brief moment.
And Rotterdam, of course, they are defending their 3rd place from last time. So we'll see how it goes. And we'll introduce the team right now. All the players.
With a number 0501, we have Braid Runner. 0906, that Mamolster. Number 123, it's Fly High Fury. 183 is Van Winkelen. 231 Monster Mary. 32 Loos Licht. 33 Miss Van Helsing. Number 4 Walking Hell. Number 5 Bremer. 59 Metallics. 66 Solomons. Number 9 Lola Montes. Number 90 Van Dam. And number 94 May. And on the bench you can see number 10 Whippin' Red Siren. She is one of the bench staffs. Usually she's one of the top skaters of the team.
Also part of Team Netherlands, of course. She played Dallas, but suffering from an injury, so she's helping her team out in a different way than she's used to. But she'll probably prove herself valuable nonetheless.
Well, she was standing in front of a very tough decision, joining the announcers crew for the tournament or be benched for her team, and apparently she got her priority straight. She decided to root for the team.
I think that's, in her opinion, that's a wise call, of course. As you're part of that team, you just want to get as much into the vibe, of course, of the tournament and be as close to the team as you can.
All right, so we're getting ready for a bit of a deja vu. As we already mentioned, if you only just tuned in, this is actually a repetition of the second game of the tournament from yesterday, where Utrecht took a 30-point win from Rotterdam, which was a very close, very exciting game as well, with lead changes and close leads.
And it was a very fair game as well. It was like not too many penalties, so let's keep it that way today.
Hopefully. We had a couple of foul-outs over the whole weekend. Well, knock on wood, it's hopefully not going to be that way again. And now we are off into the first jam of the game with Chef, number 72 for the Dam City Dolls, playing in the black, and number 231 Monster Mary in the white for the Rotterdam Death Row Honeys. And that was the first whistle of the day. Monster Mary trying for the outside line, gets taken out of bounds with one of her feet and has to recycle all the way to the back. And Chef Smash All is pushing up to the front very successfully, going for a lead.
And she did nicely to break through that white wall while Monster Mary is still fighting for her initial pass. The black wall is very strong. She has to recycle once again. And Chef almost had to do the same, but she was still stuck in the track. Now behind that white wall, both jammers stuck, but Chef in her scoring pass, while Monster Mary is still stuck for her initial pass.
Chef going up against that solid wall of three there in the front, and she has to juke from left to right, front to back, not getting anywhere right now, and the jam clock is already ticking down. We are 1 minute into the jam. Monster Mary still in her initial pass, and there is Chef out of a scoring pass, taking the jam alive point on Monster Mary. 5 points, first 5 points of the game. We're just gonna have a quick look. Monster Mary is still struggling in the defense, and just as I say it, she is out of her initial.
Now she can go in pursuit of those points, but logically Chef calls the jam. She scored the first 5 points of the game, and Utrecht takes the lead now with 9 points in total.
Oh, we're gonna see if this jam is any prediction of what's gonna happen. Both teams showing very strong defense. I mean, Chef was the one to first finish her initial pass, but then again the second scoring pass was giving her a really hard time.
She had a really difficult time getting through, and now we see on the jamming line Vicious Fox for Dam City Dolls against number 32 Looslicht for Rotterdam. Both jammers have been playing a very nice tournament so far. Looslicht some impressive points this morning, and Looslicht has a power jam because of a blocking with the head. A high block, very sorry I missed that one. So Vicious Fox, she's in the penalty box for the next 30 seconds, and Looslicht can try to up the score for Rotterdam.
Looslicht probably being the jammer of the weekend for Rotterdam. Really racking up the points to the scoreboard over all the games that they played. And whoa, that was a hard hit delivered right there, and sending her off for a forearms. So, but their Vicious Fox is already being released from the penalty box, so Loos will have to sit for the full 30 seconds. No more lead jammer for the remainder of the jam. And Vicious Fox pushing through her initial. She's up against May, Solomon, and fucking Hell.
And very good last line of defense there, forcing Vicious Fox to recycle to the back, but she made a penalty. Solomon's Vicious Fox back on the track, fighting that white wall, and she made it through at this point. And both jammers, they will have to finish off the entire jam. Looslicht getting back on the track as well. We'll see who will get most points out of this one.
Well, both jammers now on scoring passes, and Vicious Fox running up against that triangle in the front, and again it's Fucking Hell leading the defense there with bracing the wall. And there is where we have the final whistle. The jam is over. 2 full minutes have ticked down, and it's very, very low scoring. 3 points for Utrecht and 2 points for Rotterdam. Those points were really fought hard for.
Both teams are working really hard on their defense. They don't want to lose too many points at the start of the game. That can be fatal, especially mentally. It's hard. And so for the next jam, we have Peekaboo Panda for Darmstadt Dolls against Metalix for Rotterdam. And it's Peekaboo Panda trying to get through the outside, and she made it through as lead jammer. She found the space and went for it. And Peekaboo Panda, of course, easy recognizable with the black mark on her eye like a true panda. And once again, a scoring pass, calling it off, taking a few points.
4 points to be exact. Peekaboo Panda, one of the Team NL players, so some Dallas experience. They're on the team of Utrecht as well, although of course Rotterdam is leading with I think it's 3 of them, right? We have Fucking is playing for Team Netherlands and Solomon, so it's 2 players of Team Netherlands and Rotterdam, and now it's Monster Mary in the white for Rotterdam and Amber Alert for Utrecht as the jammers. Monster Mary going for lead. Amber Alert though following about 10 feet behind. Amber Alert was playing a rather good tournament, but with a couple of very risky movements. Monster Mary, though, not taking any risks, calling off the jam.
And actually Utrecht had this morning had a bit of they took a lot of penalties this morning. They was a bit of a chaotic game, a lot of penalties, a lot of fallouts, even an expulsion during the first half. So it was a bit bizarre. Even after their games yesterday, that was different. They started off quite calmly, both teams, not too many penalties yet. So that's always a good sign. And Peekaboo Panda is back on the jam line, fighting to get through, and she's up against Los Licht, probably the 2 most valuable jammers for their teams during this tournament so far. They've scored most of the points, and it's Los Licht who is lead jammer at this point, while Peekaboo Panda still struggling to get through the pack there.
Yeah, she could find a gap on the outside line. In the meantime, one more blocker of her team is sent off for a cut track penalty, leaving Utrecht with only 2 blockers. So rather easy job there for Los Licht to collect all the 4 points before she called off the jam.
And back on the jammer line, it's Metalix for Rotterdam against Amber Alert. Amber Alert, like you said, she was trying out some stuff in the game earlier today. Didn't always work out, so we'll see if she's learned from that, and we'll try to keep it more simple, more focused on the game itself. That's always important. And she tried to find some space through the outside, couldn't find it. And while Metalix is tried to find it through the inside, and she made it through. Lead jammer Metalix.
Metalix being on an absolute high in the game in the morning, where probably she was the one keeping up, matching Los Licht's points, and there she matches up a 5 to the scoreboard. And in the meantime, Amber Lord is on the way to the penalty box for a back block penalty. Darmstadt at the moment 3 points. No, right now we are at a tied game, and there go 5 more from Metalix. So 5 point in the lead at the moment for the Rotterdam Death Row Honeys. We said it's a game for the 3rd place of the tournament, 3rd out of 8, so none of the teams has to give anything away to the other team.
No, they will surely want that bronze medal. They want that 3rd place, and it's Metalix calling it off, enabling her team to start the next jam with a power jam, as Amber Alert is still box. So we'll see. And it's Monster Mary getting ready for the next jam. She will be playing for Rotterdam Death Row Honeys, the team in white, against Darmstadt Dolls. They are playing in black. Darmstadt Dolls a little bit disadvantaged as they only have 3 blockers on the track. as Skoldilux is in the penalty box as well. And now we see Amber Alert coming out of the penalty box, while Monster Mary gets through and is lead jammer. She fought well there.
Amber Alert there, she managed to get out of her initial pass, and Monster Mary in the meantime on a quick route around the track. Very physical move there, going into the pack, and there is a penalty on Monster Mary. Amber Alert gets a little bit of an advantage by the no pack call, and then we have a 5-point pass. And maybe Amber Alert manages to match up the points again. 5 points in the lead still, the Rotterdam Death Row Honeys. But there she manages to stand the last hit and matches the 5 points up again. 26 on 26 now. Oh no, and there is a cut track on Amber Alert, giving us another jammer swap in the box.
Monster Mary now getting up and back on the track. So now she has a new power jam, and she can build a lead once again during this tight game. But that black wall with Tomahawk leading the defense there, together with number 22 Dalai Drama, who has been blocking very well for her team. And both jammers now back on the track and very close to each other, each with one blocker on their tail. And Amber Alert shook that blocker off. 5 more points for Amber Alert and the Dom City Dolls.
And I did announce the last scoring a bit too early. Actually, now we're at the tied game. Both jammers having a really hard time. Both of them taken over the outside line and recycled to the back. And the jam is off. 2 minutes are over. 5 points in the air for Rotterdam and 1 more point for Utrecht. That was a bit of a messy jam, wasn't it?
Yeah, a lot of 2 power jams, a lot of penalties there. We were just talking that we were hoping not to see as many penalties as we saw this morning, and then they're going to do that. Maybe we jinxed it a little bit.
Yeah, well, and then again, I just wanted to say that's what I like to call the announcer's curse. Maybe just no talking about penalties anymore, and then maybe they just don't happen. Anyways, what happens now is Vicious Fox number 19 jamming for Utrecht as lead jammer, and Monster, that's Loos Licht finding a gap. And there she is out of her initial, but Vicious Fox is already on the scoring run, and there she leans in, tries to lean into the last blocker. Cannot, yeah, she could pass May before she was taken out of bounds and called off the jam for 4 more.
And a tie score once again. Vicious Fox, of course, she didn't play this morning, so she'll be fresh. That's always an extra weapon if you have it. A fresh jammer that's valuable for your team. And on the jammer line we see Chef for the Dom City Dolls, and is that against Metallics for Rotterdam. It was just a bit out of my viewpoint there, but both jammers now stuck in the pack, trying to get even before the first turn, trying to get through. And it's Chef who found some space on the outside. Very nicely done. She just waited a little bit, cut through, and made her Metallics forced to recycle to the back by Tomahawk. And now Chef for her scoring pass. And there was a bit of a hiccup there, but it almost seemed like Metallics was gonna get through, but she's now sent off for a penalty, a low block, and it's Chef with a power jam on her hands. Excellent opportunity to increase the lead for the Dom City Dolls.
Well, up until now it has been a give one take one when it came to the points. We're about 15 minutes into the game, and at a rather low score, both teams keeping it really safe, not trying to not give anything away. Chef calls off the jam. Speaking of not giving anything away, Metallics is already standing in the box. Chef could score 2 more though.
Yeah, both teams look like they're focusing on their defense rather than their offense. That's of course a tactic, probably not too stupid as you're you're facing for third place. You wanna have a secure zone. You wanna know what you're doing, and it's Beelzebex that can start off with a power jam in his next jam for the Dam City Dolls, but then she has to pass those 4 blockers by Rotterdam, and Metalix back on the track as well. She passes rather easily there. I think the Utrecht ladies weren't paying that much of attention towards the jammer coming from the penalty box, so that's a bit of a little lack of concentration, and Metalix scoring some points, but Beelzebex got through the pack there and took home some points as well.
It's a 3-2 jam in favor of Utrecht, actually. Although Rotterdam was in the lead, Beelzebex could score one more. Beelzebex, I think, being one of the players that wasn't playing in the morning as well. 3 of them. Peekaboo Panda being another one.
Well, actually, Beelzebex played in the morning, but she was fouled out during the game rather soon. So she had a little bit more rest than the rest of the team. Same goes for Peekaboo Panda, and Peekaboo Panda just now passing through their lead jammer. That was a strong move, and she'll be re-entering the pack very shortly, while Looslicht just got it out with her initial pass, and Peekaboo Panda calling it off.
4 points for Peekaboo Panda. 4-0. I think that's about the prediction. How the rest of the game is gonna go. Score low, but keep the other ones scoreless.
They will try to manage to control the game, take as many lead jammers as they can, and when you have the lead jammer, of course, you control the game. It's not always about scoring your own points, but it's also about don't let the other team score. So I think that's a bit of the plan of what we're seeing here in the first half, focusing on that lead jammer and blocking. And it's Vicious Fox against Monster Mary. Vicious Fox, if she's pushing forward that wall. And multiplayer block.
No, most importantly, there was a clockwise block, but it was not in Monster Mary. I was got a little confused at the moment. But still, penalty situation not looking too nice. Utrecht with 2 blockers in the box. Rotterdam 1 blocker in the box. It's going to be Lola Montes for Rotterdam. Footloose and Sneaky Sweetheart for Utrecht. And we have the first timeout of the game being called by Rotterdam.
Rotterdam a bit behind at this point. They were equally matched throughout the first 10-15 minutes of the game, but these last few jams, Dam City Dolls took a bit of the upper hand, and they have a bit of a lead, 15 points. So probably Rotterdam, they will discuss about how they will get back in the game, back onto that equal tie, and maybe take the lead before halftime.
And again, 15 points are not much of a lead, but the game as it is played at the moment, with the low scoring per each jam, isn't a game that will give you a big, comfortable lead. That's something where you either have to be lucky and get a power jam at your hands, or where you have to really, really rely on your defense to hold the opposing jammer, so you get a couple of natural grand slams in there. In the past game, Eastside Rock and Rollers versus the Parliament of Pain from The Hague, we've seen a 30-point jam scored while the opposing jammer was on track all time, and that's something that you need to gain a lead that makes you feel comfortable.
You need a little touch of magic if you want to build a big lead, and we will see. It's first time on the jammer line. Anthrax for the Dam City Dolls against Metallics for Rotterdam, and blockers on the pivot line.
And a Metallics sneaks past Chef, leaning up against the outside line. Anthrax trying her luck on the inside, is just getting past the last blockers. It was Braid Runner trying to take her down, and the end of the engagement zone not successful. Metallics goes through the pack, just 2 blockers to pass. Peekaboo Panda and Chef Smashel couldn't do too much about it. 4 points taken to the board for Rotterdam.
And what we've seen so far, every jam shortly called after they passed their first scoring pass. And like we were talking just before about the power jams and a little bit of touch of magic, we've seen power jams in this game, and they didn't build a lot of scores. So it will. I think we will have a tight game on our hands, which is nice, of course. A lot of tension, a lot of excitement, and the Amber Alert almost made it through very spectacularly, and it's Monster May, who is not lead jammer.
Yeah, not lead jammer, and Monster Mary not lead jammer. Amber Alert is called lead jammer. Realizes that. Calls off the jam immediately because apparently Monster Mary was on the way into the scoring pass, not too far away from the pack anymore. Now it's up to Schaf Smashall again for Utrecht in the black jersey, up against Loos Licht in the white jersey for Rotterdam. Oh, looks like we have an empty penalty box again. I'm just hoping not jinxing it again.
We were about to find out if we've jinxed it. But so far everything is going well. Both jammers trying to find some space, and it's Chef battling in front against that white wall, while Looslicht is stuck in the back behind that black wall. Both teams focusing really hard, working really hard on their defense. Of course they know each other a little bit because they've played the first game against each other, and I think they're trying to avoid to make the same mistakes as they have encountered maybe in that game. So both jammers still stuck in the pack, and we're already at turn 2. Let's see if they can get out here. You can see them pushing and working hard.
And if we check the jam clock, we're nearly 50 seconds into the jam and we still don't have a lead jammer. That was the defense that I was talking about. And there's Loos Licht. She is taking the 2 frontmost blockers down and is going for lead, and in the meantime Chef gets recycled all the way until behind turn 2. There we have a star stash, another move that we've seen quite a few times over the weekend. Chef stashing the star cover into her bra, is it appearing? And there we go, there's a cut track penalty on Loos Licht.
Now Chef has a power jam advantage, and still with the stash hidden somewhere. It's something we've seen a lot lately. I haven't been seeing them this day so far a lot, but yesterday there were a lot of star stashes in the games. Let's see if Chef can get some advantage out of that tactical decision. She's still stuck in the pack though. It doesn't seem like she's getting a lot out of that power jam, but now with a star pass, and it's Peekaboo Panda, but not enough time to do something with it.
Yeah, Loos Licht was already released from the penalty box, so that was a great defense in a power jam from the Rotterdam Death Row Honeys. Chef never got the chance to finish her initial pass until the moment that she finally passed the star cover to Peekaboo Panda to her pivot. But then again, the 2 minutes have already ticked down and the opposing jammer was released from the box.
This game so far has been all about blocking, but now Metallics as lead jammer for Rotterdam, while Vicious Fox is struggling in the back. Metallics can overview the track and look to find some space. And she just plowed into that black wall there, making room for herself. And she has a power jam. No, both jammers going to the penalty box. So we'll quickly see a jammer swap here.
Jammer switcheroo. Vicious Fox was in the box for about 2 seconds. Metallics is going to follow her back immediately. Back to the track. So we'll enjoy another full 2 minutes. Let's see how strong the defenses are going to be here. And Metallics out of the first scoring pass, 4 points there.
Actually an excellent opportunity for both teams, because it's just about getting the most out of it, not thinking about lead jam, just going forward. And now a star pass for the Dam City Dolls, passed on to Beelzebex, who has the star in her hand while she was on her knees, struggling to get through that last line of defense from Rotterdam. Now both jammers very close to each other. Metallics scoring points for her team. No points yet for the Dam City Dolls.
Beelzebex hitting hard into the white wall there in the back of the pack, is taken down herself and has to recycle all the way back. Metallics, of course, in the meantime, another scoring run for 4 more. And well, yeah, Bielzebek's still not getting anywhere. Is taken out again, this time by Bremer, and recycled by Fly High Fury.
And in the meantime, we saw Metallics just going straight through the middle. She was helped a little bit by some offensive blocking by her teammates there. And they can just, at this point, they can just focus on getting as many points as they want, as there's no lead jammer, and they just have to fulfill the jam.
2 minutes are over, 4 points scored in the last pass for both of the jammers. And a multiple player block being issued last moment. I think that we'll need a moment of clarification which penalties were assessed on which skater. And we have a timeout being called by Utrecht, by the black team. Let's take a quick recap. We had a lead change in the meantime. 59 points for the Rotterdam Death Row Honeys, 52 for the Dam City Dolls.
Yeah, they had a timeout, and it seems like it paid off. Probably changed a little things. Probably took some different decisions, and now they're in the lead. 7 points only, but it's important, of course. And we saw during the last jam they were really strong. They just focused on attacking there, and they got a lot of points out of it, while the defense was holding Bielzebek's back. So very good game there, very good jam.
And that was exactly the... look at that. The scores have changed. We have a couple of more points assessed, so it's a bit of a bigger lead. 63 for Rotterdam, 52 for Utrecht. Still not that big of a lead. 11 points though. Feel a bit more comfortable in 7.
Yeah, definitely. Each point is a very important one. I think Rotterdam will be the first to confirm that, as they've won their game this morning with only 1 point difference. So each point counts.
Which was a great move, by the way. Monster Mary was up as a jammer for the really last jam of the game, and she knew that her team was in the lead by exactly 1 point. And she was on the jammer line. She got lead, and as soon as she heard the whistle, she let herself drop to the floor and call it off immediately before the other jammer couldn't even exit the pack, which was in about 4 seconds into the game, and she just took the risk to win the game by 1 point.
And at this point we're seeing Monster Mary back on the track, fighting to get through the pack, but it's Anthrax for Dam City Dolls, who is lead jammer, in close pursuit by Monster Mary.
And both teams with one blocker in the box, but both are already standing out of control, and May returning to the track, and their Anthrax turns around the opposing wall and calls off the jam. No points scored by Rotterdam. And looks like Utrecht is going to be matching up. Nope, there was a cut track penalty on Anthrax in the inside turn, on the inside of the turn. That way around. She did touch the floor, so no points scored for her. We will remain at the 11-point lead, and Loos Licht will be starting in a power jam.
Yes, so she's scored a lot of points already, and she did well, and we'll see how she can manage this power jam as well. It's a bit of talking there between the officials, looking at penalties and scores to make sure everything is correct on the papers and on the boards. The statistics, as you could call them.
What a nice thing from up here is that we can actually see the inside whiteboard this time. Looking really good on the Rotterdam side. The Dam City Dolls, though, have already one player, number 3, Scoldy Locks, on 5 penalties.
Taking a lot of penalties. They did that this morning. This morning, I think they had almost 5 players fouled out during the game. 4 players fouled out, 1 expulsion. So that's a lot, and if you have to finish a game with so many players less, it can get a hard task for the remaining players.
I just need to quickly correct myself. There was Scoldy Locks is on 4 penalties up to now, but then again we are still in the first period of the game, 6 minutes left.
And we're about to get ready for the next jam with Loos Licht, who has the power jam because of the cutting penalty made by Anthrax at the very end of the last game. And Loos Licht through the pack quite easily there. Strong jammer this weekend, and she's up for her scoring pass at this point. she already managed to pass one black blocker, and now she's just pushing forward, following, making them out of play and giving her a clear path to pass through. She has 5 more points added to the board, and Antrax now returning on the track. She will try to get through for her initial pass, and in the meantime Looslicht can keep on battling in turn 2 for 5 more points, and she is successful in that fight. 4 more points. And Antrax through the pack as well with her initial pass, but Looslicht looking over her shoulder, looking to the back. She's just checking the situation to know when to call it off, and she just did.
Yeah, no more points scored in the last pass by either jammer. And we have Bielsebeck's number 13 in the penalty box as pivot for the Dam City Dolls from Utrecht. Chef Smashall, number 72, on the jammer line, and she is up against Metallics for Rotterdam with the number 59. Metallics, she has all her 4 blockers on the track.
As Chef only has 3 blockers, so she's facing 4 Rotterdam blockers there. And focus is back on that defensive game like we've seen already this first half. And almost through there, Chef, but forced to recycle all the way to the back. And now both jammers at the same height. Metallics forced to the ground there.
And Metallics sent off to the box for forearms, now for a cut track.
And a power jam for Chef Smashall, but she has to recycle to the back. The power jams didn't really give them a lot of points for neither teams.
Yeah, this might be the chance for Chef to make up on the point differential. Rotterdam are in the lead by 20 points up to now. So this might just be what Utrecht needs to get back into the game.
Yes, certainly, because we're closing in on halftime as well. You don't want to get stuck behind too much to start that second half. You never know when you can just start off with a power jam in the second half against you, and then the lead is you're far behind the points, and you don't want to get into that situation when you're fighting for the 3rd and 4th place, of course.
Chef's just called off the jam. She saw Metallic standing in the penalty box, which is why I started wondering. I've seen a couple of call-offs this weekend where I was thinking, why did you call it off at this early point? Chef should have known that Metallics was still in her initial pass when she was sent off track, so she could have dared to go for at least one more scoring pass to actually catch up on the point spread. And now it's up to Amber Alert. She was trying to gain lead, but Metallics was coming back onto the track and again was sneaking past the 2 blockers, because Utrecht again with 2 blockers in the penalty box. So Amber Alert now trying to follow Metallics on a scoring run. Metallics going past the first 2 blockers, but it should have been enough time for Amber Alert. Yes, Amber Alert could match up the 4 points of Metallics with another 4. So this was at least an even jam in favor of no one, because it wasn't even 44 points.
But yeah, a bit of lack of concentration in the previous jam. Lack of concentration by the Dam City Doll blockers, who just let Metallics come from the penalty box straight into her initial pass. They didn't even notice she was coming back on the track. And then from Metallics as well, who just called it off too late, giving Amber Alert the chance to score points for her team. And now it's a power jam for Peekaboo Panda, because Looslicht use a forearm sent to the penalty box, and Peekaboo Panda, will she be the one to close the gap? Just a minute 30 seconds left on the clock in this first half. Nice pass there, and 5 points closing in on Rotterdam, and her blockers helping her, clearing some path for her. Almost through there, but now back on her feet and sent to the penalty box for a cutting. And Looslicht now on the track once again. It just keeps going up and down. No real advantages made in those power jams. Maybe Looslicht can turn the tables on that one.
She's still up against Tomahawk and Chef in the front. Tomahawk is the last defense, but the out of play call should be coming soon enough. But even before that, Lowe's manages to turn around her. And there goes a forearms call on one of the blockers. Dalai Drama getting confused and going off track as well. Peekaboo Panda is coming back and she's running right into the defense. We don't have a lead jammer anymore. I would like to remind you, half a minute left to play. Peekaboo Panda on a 5-point pass. And Loes Licht struggling on the outside line. And she finds a gap on the inside but is running right into the black defense. And Peekaboo Panda taking another lap point there. 5 more. And that is actually exactly what Utrecht needed. We're up to a tied game again. 76 and 76 points. And period clock is ticking down. Jam clock and period clock were actually synchronized at this moment. And we are into halftime, but it looks like Loes Licht could score 4 more in her last pass. So we are down to a 4-point game when we are going into halftime.
And we will start off the second half with a power jam for Rotterdam, because just at the very end, Peekaboo Panda made a cutting of the track, so she's in the penalty box and she will be there for 15 minutes or something.
well, hopefully for a very but she will be there for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And, we will see you again in about 12 to 13 minutes.
Yeah.
For the remainder of the game for the 3rd place at the Dutch Championships.
Dat was wat zeggen.
And welcome back. I am Valkyria. I'm here with all anchors, and we are in a beautiful, rainy, I gotta say, unfortunately, Eindhoven for the Bloed. Now, can you say that? Bloed, skates en tranen?
Bloed, skates and tranen. You said it almost perfectly.
Yay! Says the one who's not even Dutch but Belgian. Right. Anyways, we're here for the second edition of the Dutch Roller Derby Championship. And we are in the game for the third place, watching the Rotterdam Death Row Honeys going up against the Amsterdam Dolls from Utrecht.
We've seen a tight game in the first half. Points very close to each other. Not many points per jam. Always very, very close jams. 4 points, 5 points. Calling it off by the lead jammer. So I'm guessing we'll see more of that in the second half, unless we have a big turnaround and somebody just grabs the upper hand of the game and just takes control of everything. But I'm betting not.
Talking scores, let's quickly check the board. We have 79 points for Rotterdam and 76 for Utrecht, which is nothing, as we can see. And 3-point game up until now.
Yeah.
The last couple of jams were really, really exciting, really closely matched.
And of course, a small advantage for Rotterdam, because they're gonna start the second half with a power jam. As Peekaboo Panda just got a cutting penalty just at the end of the last jam there. And from up here we can hear the teams doing their shouts, and everybody's getting ready for the start of the second half. And I think we will be focusing on the game once again.
But before we focus on the game, we're just quickly gonna check the penalty situation. As all anchors already said, Peekaboo Panda starting from the penalty box. She was sent off, so a power jump start for Rotterdam. Rotterdam penalty-wise, they're doing pretty well up until now. Not too many penalties. Utrecht though has 4 skaters sitting on 4 penalties already. 5 skaters sitting on 4 penalties. So in the end, it might be again the penalties. And we see Loos Licht lining up for the first jam of the second period.
And she will go straight into that pivot line where the blockers are waiting for her. And Loos Licht already scored a lot of points in the first half. And she's probably the best bet to take use of this power jam. You see her fighting against Tomahawk. And she's true lead jammer. Of course, makes sense that she is lead jammer. But let's see how she will take hold of that scoring pass now. Very different situation. 4 blockers standing in front of her, trying to hold her back, while Peekaboo Panda is now returning onto the track. And she's going through that white wall of Rotterdam as well. But Loos Licht with her scoring pass. And now Peekaboo Panda through the pack as well.
Yeah, nicely done there by Fucking Hell and Solomon's, the Team NL players, and keeping her at bay last moment to give Loos Licht a little more room. No more points scored though. 84 for Rotterdam after this power jam. It's just an 8-point differential. It's not really much of a lead. I mean, a really, really good job there by Utrecht defending the power jam as well. Could have gone much worse.
And we're seeing Amber Alert on the jammer line, but with a star stash, the star panty in the back of her pants. And she's now looking for it. Actually, she couldn't find it. And in the meantime, Metallics is struggling in front to get through, but she's using her forearm, so she's sent to the penalty box. A power jam for Amber Alert, who now has the star on her head. Where it should be, of course, and she passes through the outside for her initial pass.
Well, she didn't have much of a choice than putting it on. Well, first of all, she finally gained lead, and Beelzebub's her pivot is in the penalty box at the moment. And Butler, taking over the outside line, has to recycle back, though her wall makes sure that she's not being recycled too far, and she finds a gap along the inside line and goes for 5 points. Closing down the gap again. We're at a 3-point game again, and Amber Alert still on a power jam. Metallics, they're already standing in the penalty box. She is released with Beelzebugs, and Utrecht is getting ready for her, but again, Metallics just manages to sneak through there nearly unnoticed, and we have a power jam now for Metallics. Amber Alert is sent off for a low block penalty, and Metallics is hitting the pack very, very hard. 5 points to the board. It's a give one, take one again, this jam.
Yes, everything has been going up and down throughout the entire game. But now it seems like Metallics, she's going for those extra points. She looks determined.
No, that was so close. Nicely standing that hit on the outside line, but then last moment she lost her balance and has to recycle all the way back up until turn 4. And there's Amber Alert back on track. Metallics trying to make use of that huge gap in the black wall, and while she is taken to the infield, she takes Amber Alert with her. Let's check. 4 on 5, 4 points for Utrecht in the last pass and 5 for Metallics.
So both teams still very close to each other point-wise. And on the German line, Peekaboo Panda now for the black team, the Dam City Dolls, against Monster Mary for the white team, the Rotterdam Death Row Honeys.
It looks like Beelzebex is up into her 5th penalty now. A quick look onto the scoreboard tells me, so she's the first one who has to watch out a little, but right now Peekaboo Panda is the first one, namely the first one to make it out of the pack. And Monster Mary is still struggling on the defense, but there is a little gap on the inside line, and she uses it, gets past Goldilocks.
And, the pack was wide open there, so an easy pass for Peekaboo Panda. She actually, the only obstacle in her way was her own blocker, her own teammate. And that wasn't part of the plan, I guess. And now on the jammer line, we see Looslicht again for Rotterdam against Beelzebex for the Dam City Dolls.
4-3 blocker advantage for Rotterdam. Let's see what Beelzebex makes of that.
Both jammers plowing into the back of that pack there, trying to find some space. We have to get something through there. And Looslicht in the advantage, lead jammer Looslicht for Rotterdam.
2 blockers on the way to the penalty box. One for Utrecht is going to be released in a very brief moment. Beelzebex finally out of the pack, out of her initial. And Looslicht in the middle of a scoring pass. There's a forearms penalty on another blocker of Utrecht issued. That's 0-0 Lucky Monster. It's getting a bit messy again in the penalty box. We have Lucky Monster and Sneaky Sweetheart, who are seating Vocking Hell for Rotterdam, seated in the box as well. And it looks like looks like Tomahawk. Out of control, number 981. She will have to line up for the next jam. She is in line for the penalty box. And team timeout in the meantime taken by the Dam City Dolls.
Yeah, they're a bit behind at this point, and they just wanna re-grab that lead. A little bit more comfortable position, of course. In the meantime, if you're still tweeting or anything about the Bloedskates and Tranen, use the hashtag BST2015. So that way everything can be followed easily on social media through your Twitter, Instagram, or whatever social media you are using at this point.
If you see your favorite referee coming up on screen, you can as well take a screenshot on your computer and Instagram it. And of course on Instagram you can use the same hashtags, BSTweet2015 or hashtag NK2015 works as well. And of course we still have another broadcast coming up later, so if you haven't done so, you can share the link rollerderbytv.com with all your friends over Twitter, Facebook and all over social media.
And now back to the action on the track, where Chef is jamming for the Dam City Dolls against Metallics for Rotterdam. And it's Metallics. She was looking to get through there. She has lead jam, but forced to recycle all the way to the back. And Chef Drew with her initial pass as well. And Metallics complaining to the ref about a high block, I believe.
Trying to force a high block penalty on one of the opposing blockers. Looks a little bit like she was hit by a bum in her face, which is of course not a nice thing to experience, but it happens in the heat of the moment. And as we all know, no impact, no penalty.
No.
And we are back into action at 7-11. Peekaboo Panda up against number 231 Monster Mary, and it's Peekaboo Panda again peeking for a lead. Monster Mary seeking a gap on the inside, but getting stuck on, I think that's number 9 Antrax.
It looks so from here.
One woman show, keeping her at bay in the front and forcing her to recycle behind the pack. Peekaboo Panda in the meantime taking 5 points to the scoreboard. Speaking of scoreboard, let's check again. We're still at a 4-point game at the moment, but Peekaboo Panda, just when she was about to go into the next scoring pass, is sent off for a cut track penalty again, taking her up to 5 penalty as well now. And there is the initial pass for Monster Mary. We're looking at another 2-minute jam with no more lead jammer.
So they will have to go the full length. It's always hard for a jammer. 2 minutes can take a long time when you're on the track, but now 30 seconds the rest for Monster Mary as she's sent to the penalty box. And Peekaboo Panda will be able to re-enter the pack.
And there was a back block there between turn 3 and turn 4 on one of the Utrecht blockers. Peekaboo Panda taken to the ground, but just barely avoiding that new cut track, and she's up against the last defense. That was fucking hell again. 5 points to the board for Peekaboo Panda, and I think, yep, there is another lead change in the game. 98 and 99 points now in favor of Utrecht, and Peekaboo Panda going into the next scoring pass. Both teams, I think they might miss a jammer coming back from the box. Yes, they did. And there's Monster Mary through for 5 points. Totally unnoticed. 5 more for Peekaboo Panda as well. Both teams have been scratching at the 3-digit mark for a little while, and now they both are past the mark. 103 for Rotterdam, 104 for Dom City Utrecht.
It's unbelievable. Every time a jammer comes back from the penalty box for Rotterdam, the Dom City Dolls don't notice them, and they just lose a lot of points that way. That's I think they will have to focus on that during the second half. Otherwise, that could be a point where they lose the game. But at this point, just to refer to a lot of cliches, it's still anybody's game at this point. And now Amber Alert for the black team, the Dam City Dolls on the jammer line, jamming against Looslicht for the white team, the Rotterdam Death Row Honeys. And it's Looslicht lead jammer for Rotterdam.
Amber Alert was struggling a little and in the back, and now she is past Solomons, managed to get out of her initial. But Looslicht is already on a scoring run. She has to recycle, and now Amber Alert catches up to her, and of course Looslicht decides to call it off. But before that, she could get 1 more point. And of course, you are absolutely right. It's the points where they just miss the jammers coming back from the box. I mean, it can totally happen with a jammer like Metallics. She is tiny, she is slim, but Monster Mary is a tall skater. She's not easily to miss. I mean, if she's standing in the box, you can hardly oversee her. So let's see, it's Metallics again and Chef Smashall on the line.
Yeah, both small jammers like we were just talking about, and it's Metallics pushing forward that black wall in front of her. She's trying to find a little space in between, looking through the outside, and she's managing to get lead jammer. Metallics, fine game by her, adjusting her protection, making sure everything is comfortable to go for her scoring pass at this point. And defense by Dom City Dolls was a bit all over the place, so an easy pass there for Metallics. 5 more points and another lead change, lead for Rotterdam. But very close game still. 108 points for Rotterdam against 104 for the Dam City Dolls. And now Amber Alert on the jammer line against Monster Mary for Rotterdam.
If you have just tuned in, you are watching rollerderbytv.com, and we are in the game for the third place at the Dutch Roller Derby Championships. Dam City Dolls from Utrecht playing in the black. Lead jam now for them. Amber Alert. Monster Mary playing in the white for the Rotterdam Death Row Honeys. Just got out of her initial pass, and Amber Alert is about to start her scoring run. It's taken out of bounds though and has to recycle, and there she got forced into that cut track penalty by Van Ulster, leaving Monster Mary on another power jam. Really, in a game this close with Dom City 4 points behind, you do not want to risk another power jam.
No, they're taking a lot of chances. Maybe they're getting a little bit tired at this point, losing a little bit of focus. But Monster Mary, she doesn't care about that. She's just bringing home extra points. And I think we're about to see the biggest lead we've seen so far in this game. And it's thanks to Monster Mary, who's really breaking through that wall now on her knees, but quickly back on her feet and nicely helped by her teammates who are doing some great offensive blocking there. 5 more points, and now Amber Alert back on the track. And that's a focused team there, Rotterdam, trying to hold her off, but Amber Alert was stronger. But at least they were aware of a jammer coming onto the track. And another 5 points for Monster Mary and Rotterdam. Amber Alert easily through the pack there as well. They will need some regrouping there.
Oh, we are looking at another 2-minute jam, so it's just stacking up the points for either side and relying on your defense to keep the opposing jammer. And it looks like Amber Alert has overtaken Monster Mary here. Monster Mary has to recycle again behind Goldilocks. Oh, there was a hard going into the pack there by Amber Alert, but apparently completely legal. No calls from the referees. The 2 minutes have ticked down. 5 more for Amber Alert and 4 more for Monster Mary.
And so the game still close as it is the entire game, or as it was already the entire game. And Peekaboo Panda now back on the jammer line for the black team, the Dam City Dolls. And she's facing Looslicht.
I'm going to see an official timeout now, and I think this might have actually been one of the highest scoring jams we have had. Yeah, it's the jam referees just double checking with the scorekeepers. Until now, the scoreboard tells us that it's 23 on 17 points scored in the past jam in favor of Rotterdam. I think those are the highest scores we've seen in any of the jams before.
Yeah, all the jams have been low scores, short jams, and this one, of course, with no lead jammer, they had to fulfill those 2 minutes, and they just had to give it all and try to get everything out of it as they can. And the pack was a bit unorganized for both teams during the last jam, so Amber Alert and Monster Mary got through the pack quite easily a few times, making it easy for them to score points, of course.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The walls were torn apart like for a couple of feet from time to time, so it was a really easy job sometimes for the jammers to get through to score those points. And we are still looking at an official timeout. Just taking the moment to check the scoreboard. It's Bjelzebek still sitting on 6 penalties already. And one more skater on 5. That's... Oh, let's just see them getting the lines right. That's Peekaboo Panda, actually. She's already sitting on 5 penalties for Utrecht. Otherwise, the highest penalty count we have are 4 on both teams. And Peekaboo Panda is hitting hard into the pack and going around the last blockers as lead jammer. Looslicht is taken out there by the Utrecht defense. Still has to pass the last 2 ones, and there she is out of her initial, but Peekaboo Panda is already coming around for a scoring run. Uses those huge gaps again, passes Solomons, gets taken out of bounds, calls off the jam from the outside, and there is a forearms on, I think that might be Solomons who's sent off. All 4 points though scored by Peekaboo Panda. Yeah, and that's Solomons number 66 taking a seat in the penalty box. She's joining Dalai Drama number 22 from Utrecht. So both teams are starting 1 blocker short now.
And now Fishes Fox back on the jammer line. It's been a while since we've seen her jam. And she's playing against Metallics. Metallics who have been jamming a lot together with Loslicht. They have been jamming most of the time for Rotterdam. Fishes Fox was still stuck in the back while Metallics takes lead jam. And she will go in search of those points for her scoring pass. Now closing in and getting sent off for a penalty.
I think she got confused. There was a penalty being called on her. Her jammer ref is still looking at her. No penalty, but well, Metallics calls off the jam, and the jammer referee is talking to his OPRs. There was a penalty being issued. I did see that. It was a multiple player block, which was probably on one of the blockers. But no black blocker is in the box at the moment, so we will just wait a brief moment. That was just a confirmation of the points, 4 points there for Metallics.
And a little bit of confusion on the track there. We're on to the next jam with Peekaboo Panda. She's only facing 2 Rotterdam blockers, and she has number 30. Can't see the number from here. Oh, it's Monster Mary, of course. I was a little bit confused still. My apologies. But it's Peekaboo Panda working hard for that lead jammer position, and a cutting sent to the penalty box. So a power jam for Monster Mary, who is struggling to get through her initial pass, and she just throws a tomahawk off the track there. The use of 4 arms sent to the penalty box as well, so we will get a jammer swap here. And in the meantime, all blockers are back on the track, and Peekaboo Panda can continue to search for those points.
Antrax number 9 is sent off for a back block. In the meantime, there's Peekaboo Panda out of her initial. Of course, she was sent to the box in this jam, so no lead jammer for the remainder of the jam. A bit over a minute left to play. At least, I just wanted to say, at least all the blockers are back on the field, but of course, not 5 points for Peekaboo Panda. 130 for Dom City at the moment, 134 for Rotterdam, and with this scoring pass, we have one more lead change in the game. No, we have a tie, because Monster Mary returned to the track, so only 4 points for Peekaboo Panda in the last pass. Monster Mary taken out of bounds just when she exited the pack. Peekaboo Panda turns around, one of her blocker uses her as a whip and goes for 5 points again, because there goes the jammer lap point, and somehow Utrecht missed Monster Mary on the way. And she just got through her initial pass, the clock is ticking down, and Peekaboo Panda is just, looks a bit like she's doing the 27 and 5. And there comes Monster Mary, and the gaps are closing down again on her.
Peekaboo Panda scoring a lot of points in this jam, and another lead change. 143 points now for the Dom City Dolls against 134 for the Rotterdam Death Row Honeys. So Peekaboo Panda, who's a little bit on edge, of course, with a lot of penalties, but she manages to get a lot of points for the team, so they will be grateful. Now Fishes Fox back on the jammer line for the black team, the Dom City Dolls from Utrecht, against Loslicht for the white team, the Rotterdam Death Row Honeys from Rotterdam, of course. But we are getting an official timeout.
We are indeed. If you've only just tuned in, Rotterdam playing in the white, Utrecht playing in the black. We are in the game for the 3rd place of the Dutch Roller Derby Championships. And just another quick look at the whiteboard. Peekaboo Panda and Beelzebub's number 7-11 and number 13, both on her 6th penalty. We have 12 minutes left in the game, and as far as I know, they both fouled out in the first game of the day today.
Yes, as a matter of fact, they did. Actually, Peekaboo Panda fouled out during the first half even, and Beelzebub's fouled out during the second half. So they're not having good track record penalty-wise. So let's see what that gives for this game. I actually expect at least one of them to get out of the game, but now we're looking at Fishes Fox against Loslicht.
And remember the announcer's curse. We're not talking anybody falling out because then it's surely gonna happen.
And Vicious Fox in the meantime trying to get through. Los Licht forced to recycle all the way to the back. And we see only 2 blockers left for the Dam City Dolls. But they're doing a hard job, and now only 1 blocker left as Mode of Control is being sent to the penalty box. So a clear path for Los Licht, who is now lead jammer in this jam.
Vicious Fox having a really hard time. They're fighting for her initial. Looks like Monster and fucking hell are dealing with her, and so efficiently. And without a pivot on track, Vicious Fox can't even pass the helmet cover to anyone because her pivot, Loki Monster, is just about to return to the track right now from the penalty box. And now Vicious Fox is on a power jam. There's a forearms call on Los Licht. But Utrecht deciding to do the passive offense, and now probably gonna go to Van Minkelen, who's returning from the penalty box now. And Vicious Fox going into a scoring run now. Jam clock ticking down. We don't have a lead jammer anymore, so she has to battle through unless her pivot's coming to her help to take the pivot cover, but it doesn't, the jammer cover of course, but it doesn't look like it. Los Licht already standing up in the penalty box, should return any moment. And there are 5 hard gain points for Vicious Fox.
Now Los Licht back on the track, but just at the end of that jam.
Very slim lead after this power jam. Great defense on side of Rotterdam for this power jam. That's really how you kill the time. They kept her in the initial for about a minute, and then in the scoring pass gave her an even harder time. We have a team timeout for Rotterdam. And just a quick look at the scoreboard. Dam City with a slim lead of 8 points. We have 10 minutes left in the game.
So it's still very exciting, of course, and there are not a lot of points being scored, so it's not always very spectacular because the game is being played a little bit tactical-wise. I think both teams are more afraid of losing points than they are trying to gain points. So that's then you get more of a close game, like we're seeing right now. But of course, the more we reach the end, the more exciting it gets, and the more they will have to take risks. The team that's behind will have to up their game, then, and they will have to take chances in order to regain a lead. But and we will see if that starts from now with Chef on the jammer line against Metallics for Rotterdam, of course.
Out of control is starting from the penalty box as a blocker, so Rotterdam is in the advantage with 1 blocker up.
And Metallics getting down to the floor for a powerful start of this jam. And Chef just trying to find some space through the outside, and it's Metallics who is through as lead jammer.
She is quick on her feet, that one, using the gap that opened up for a little moment on the lane 3 and 4 to get past that, and there she gets through unnoticed along the inside line for a 5-point pass, taking Rotterdam into the lead now by 1 point actually. And there's Chef right in front of her, and let's see if Chef is trying to deliver a hit on the opposing jammer. Metallics calls off the jam. A quick look to the penalty box, but Fly High Fury is still seated, so no use in trying to buy some time there to release her blocker. Fly High Fury wildly trying to communicate to the track that there is 1 blocker too many there for the white team. So Rotterdam, this now in this jam with a slim lead of 5 points. Less than 9 minutes left to play, and we have Monster Mary, of course, again at Amber Alert, and that's lead for Amber Alert. Yeah, slight confusion with the jammer refs apparently. Amber Alert is lead jammer. No, not Monster Mary. I'm really sorry, Van Damme.
Yeah, I think it's her first time on the jammer line today, so and she has the colored hair as well. So from up here, it's a bit confusing at
It's just
times.
pink hair in the back of her helmet. It's got to be Monster Mary. Don't need to check the numbers. All right.
So we'll be sure to check the numbers now when I see 32 standing for Rotterdam, the white team, and that is Loos Licht, of course. And she's facing number 7-2, Chef for the Damstede Dolls, the black team from Utrecht.
There's a pivot cover too many on the track apparently. That was just flying out. And of course, as we already said in the beginning of the day, of the game, we already saw this game happening yesterday in the morning as the second game of the tournament, and now it's the pre-last game of the tournament again. Rotterdam up against Utrecht.
And yet again, a very tight game, tight scoring. And I guess we must have missed it because we're starting off with a power jam for Loos Licht. Amber Alert in the penalty box. I honestly have no idea why. But I don't think Loos Licht will mind that. She will just try to get through the pack for an initial pass and then score as many points as she can in those 30 seconds she gets. But nice defensive wall there by the Damstede Dolls. Fighting hard. It's Skoldielaks there as last line of defense, but Loos Licht is through, lead jammer. And now they have to reform the wall. And some offensive blocking there by her teammates. And in the meantime, Amber Alert back on the track with Star Stash because no panty on her head. She will try to get some advantage out of that for her initial pass.
Amber Alert was already stashing the star while she was still seated in the penalty box, but the Rotterdam wall was totally ready for her. They were watching her all of the time and doing a very good job here in keeping her in her initial Loos Licht on her way to take another round around the track. 5 more points. 160 on 150 now. And looks like we have another cut track penalty on Amber Alert, sending her to the box a second time in this jam.
And Loos Licht through the pack once more, adding some extra points to the. I think she already made 10 points during this jam.
And there we're gonna have to jam a swap. There's a back block call on Loos Licht. So Amber Alert is coming back. The star cover is still stashed. Looking for her pivot. Pivot is in front, is stretching the hand out, and there, quick pass off the cover. And tracks number 9 as the new jammer. Lead is closed anyways, but the jam is over in just about 2 seconds. Here comes the call. Let's check on the points. Apparently there was enough time to release Loos Licht from the box. No more points scored in the last pass. We have 10 points in the last jam scored by Loos Licht, taking Rotterdam into the lead by 15 points. The last game from yesterday was won by Utrecht by 30 points, which was only decided in a couple of last jams though.
So still anything could happen, of course. Now it's up to Chef, and she's battling Metallics, and Chef has a power jam on her hands for is that a back block or?
That's a skating out of bounds in Metallic, so Chef Smashall is going to be the new lead jammer. Well, not the new lead jammer, she is the lead jammer. A 3-on-2 blocker advantage on her side. That was an easy job, nicely done. 5 points there. Solomons, though, returning from the penalty box for Rotterdam. Utrecht trying to hold her good to keep the pack. Chef pushing into the defense. She already passed one blocker. Got 1 more point, no, 2 more points for the ghost points for the players in the box. Managed to get past all 5. Released her blocker out of the box. And closes down the gap again to another 5 points. we have a bit more than 4 minutes left.
It's so exciting at this point. 5 points, it's nothing, literally nothing. It's just one good jam and you're closing in on that gap. And of course Peekaboo Panda, she can now start with a power jam for the black team. And she does it with class and with style through the inside. But now Metalix back on the track as well, trying to get through that black wall. Peekaboo Panda up for her scoring pass, barging in on that white wall.
And how beautifully that initial pass was done with the help from her blockers, opening up that triangle from both sides. And there goes Peekaboo Panda for a blocking with the head. After the penalty box, Metallics is still stuck in traffic, not getting anywhere. Her block is coming into some support, but it's a really, really solid backward skating there. And there is Braid Runner coming to assist her jammer for Metallics to finish her initial pass. Peekaboo Panda though was lead jammer, so we are looking at another full 2-minute jam. And there are 5 points it should be for Metallics. Yes, and she matches the 5 points that Peekaboo Panda scored in the last. Apparently didn't score in the last pass because she was sent off to the box.
And of course, with only 2 minutes 50 seconds left on the clock, it's a bad time to get a power jam against you. And Metallics, she looks like she's a bit struggling a bit in her face. She looks tired, but she will give everything she's got, no doubt about that.
Well, both of the teams have already had one game in the morning, and Metallics, as you already stated earlier for this game, she is on heavy rotation for about every second jam. And there is a star pass. She's trying to get her pivots and decided to go for a star stash and just pass the blockers. 3 points only because the cover was in her hand. She was in heavy rotation for both of the games, and one of the most solid jammers for Rotterdam. So she can well be exhausted. Let's check. We have less than 2 minutes left on the period clock, and 197 points for Rotterdam, 164 for Dam City. And there is an official review requested, of course, by Dam City Dolls Utrecht.
And I think Dam City, they will be thinking about all those times they let the jammer come from the penalty box so easily into an initial or a scoring pass. Those were expensive points just thrown away, actually. And those could be the points that you're missing out at the very end of the game. So probably they'll be thinking about that as well. An official review has been called. Now they're discussing it amongst each other, of course.
Well, as we already said, Rotterdam has to...
Third, last blue. So they're very eager, and of course they played Utrecht in the first game. They lost that game, so they want to get back at them. It's a rematch, and of course a very important rematch because you're playing for third and fourth place, and you don't want to give that out of your hands. And at this point, they're really close. 1 minute 50 left on the clock, and they have a 19-point lead there. No,
yeah. No, you're totally right.
Yeah,
it's 19 points.
It's been a long weekend, so my math is a bit all over the place. But yeah, 19 points, and there hasn't been a lot of jams with a lot of point scoring, so it could be enough. It could, if they could just hold down the fort, it could be enough. And in the meantime, I think Tomahawk fouled out for the Dam City Dolls. And I'm checking if somebody else fouled out, because I can't read the scoreboard at this point. But Tomahawk is definitely out of the track. Too many penalties. She's being fouled out. And
well, there's actually 2 skaters fouled out for Dam City by now. As Tomahawk, as I already said, and apparently Peekaboo Panda is on 7 penalties as well. So we have 2 skaters down for Dam City. Rotterdam is with 1 skater at 6 penalties. That should be Van Dam. No, It's not Van Damme. It's Solomons who's on 6 penalties. Otherwise, the Death Row Honeys are doing okay-ish penalty-wise. And we are off into the next jam. Vicious Fox getting very physical there. Trying to get through the opposing wall. And there she is out. And I'm just looking. There is the white jammer on her way off to the penalty box for a forearms.
No.
And it's Van Damme taking a seat in the box. Vicious Fox is on a scoring run and she is really pushing hard up against Montgomery. And through for 5 points. Vicious Fox making good use of that power jam, trying to close down the gap. Dam City don't have too much time left. The period clock is ticking down. 1 minute remaining in the game. And this really, that was unfortunate. There is a forearms call on Vicious Fox, so we don't have a lead jammer anymore. Jam remaining 1 minute, 50 seconds on the period clock. So we are looking at the last jam now, actually.
And it all comes down to this one, so I won't bother you with the result of the official review because it's not at this point. This is where it's happening right now. Will Van Damme be the one to hold down the fort? Will she be the one to score some extra points for her team, making it a more safer place? Because Vicious Fox will be ready to get into the track as well, and she's doing it right now. And still a 19-point differential, so everything comes down to these last seconds. Let's see what happens here. Both jammers now back on the track, struggling in the pack, of course, with an advantage for Rotterdam, the white team. You see Van Damme on the floor there. Vicious Fox trying to get through.
And there's another cut track, but there's on Footloose, one of the blockers going off track. And Vicious Fox is taken to the infield by Van Minkelen and recycled to the back. The jam clock has ticked, the period clock has ticked down. The jam clock has ticked down. Van Damme could take 5 more in the last pass. I'm just looking for the other jammer ref for the confirmation of Vicious Fox's score. But anyways, we're at a 188 to 168, so I think it's safe to say, even if it's an unofficial final, that Rotterdam won this game. Rotterdam could defeat their 3rd place, and it looks like we had a 5 on 4 point jam. Rotterdam could successfully defend their 3rd place in the Netherlands.
And you can be sure they are happy with it. Of course, missing a valuable player like Whippin' Red Siren and still managing to hold down that 3rd place up against Utrecht, who already defeated Rotterdam in this tournament. And we see waves flags waving across the stands here, so the fans are enthusiastic as well. That's always a good thing to see. And we're still waiting for the official final score, of course. Maybe in the meantime you could be interested what the official review was about. Actually, the black team, they asked for a cut track error by the white pivot, but the no call stands. So just for your information, that you have everything that you need to know there, as we are awaiting the official final score. But already the crowd lining up there to shake the players' hands. Very exciting game. It was close throughout the entire game, just until actually the end, where Rotterdam had a little gap, and they just kept that going and kept it strong there.
Yeah, you're totally right. In the end, it all came down to the penalties and to the concentration, because as you already said a couple of times during the game, there were so many times when Metallics or the other jammers were returning from the penalty box where Utrecht just missed them, and the jammers could just go through the pack without being noticed, where valuable points were given away, and then of course the penalty trouble.
Yeah, if you're losing players and you're having a hard tournament, you don't want to miss out on 2 players. And in the meantime, it's the final score. It's official. 168 points for the Dam City Dolls, the black team from Utrecht, and 188 points for the Rotterdam Death Row Honeys, the white team, of course.
Exactly. We had a very exciting game, and we're going to have another good one coming up at 5:30, where Amsterdam and Eindhoven are going to be playing for the first place of this tournament, and we hope you tune in again. Thank you very much, all anchors.
Thank you very much, Valkyria.
And we'll see you for the next game.
Ja. Ja, zover kom ik niet, hè? Ja. Kan niet lager. Oké. Vandaar. Die de staat er nu op. Oh. Ja, dat is... het zat er nu een beetje bij uit. Dat is geen excuus voor de 2K. take position, go live in 30 seconds.
So here we are, Beatrix. I'm Nasty Moves, joined by Beatrix, and we are bringing you the final.
I can't tell you how excited I am to see this. Amsterdam Derby Dames. This is Rockcity Rollers. Of course, this is a repeat of the first Blood Skate and Tears.
Yes, the first edition that took place a year and a half ago. So we're going to have a repeat performance. But one thing is sure, both teams have changed, grown, and it's going to be a different game. And that's what we want to watch.
It really is. We're about to go to skate outs in just one moment. Of course, we will talk you through that. You'll be seeing those teams skating out. We will go through the roster so you know exactly who is playing. Maybe you're at home cheering on your favourite skaters. You can use the hashtag BST2015 to tell us all about it. Of course, as you said, you are the lovely Nasty Moves, and the first time we've worked together in such a long time.
That is true.
Happy.
That is absolutely true.
So happy that it's for the final of this tournament.
I'm very happy to have you here. I mean, it's a tournament that is growing too. This is the second time. We don't really know how the third time is going to happen, or even where it's going to happen. But the lovely Eindhoven Rockcity Rollers have made sure that we had a Dutch championship, which is. We're very grateful for.
Yeah, and absolutely big thanks to them for hosting this yet again. So well organised, and as you said, such a big tournament.
It's a big deal for us, small country.
Yeah.
That's what that is. We have a little treat for you today too, as well at halftime.
Yeah, we're going to see some junior roller derby during the halftime. Some small roller derby stars of the future.
That
I would say,
or our future Rockcity Rollers. We're gonna be watching the junior Rockcity Rollers, and they are the first and currently the only junior roller derby team in the Netherlands.
So it will be a fantastic event to see those skating. And I have been watching them during warm-ups just between the last game and this game, and they are on fire, let me tell you.
They're cute.
They have moves on skates that, as an old lady skating, I didn't even know existed. So that will be an exciting thing to watch during halftime. But right now, it looks like we are just about ready to start these skates out. Of course, Amsterdam Derby Dames playing in the black and pink today.
Yep, that's our team colors. And we'll be having some, on the other side, a bit more of a purple feel to it for the Rockcity Rollers. As we await the skate out. And this, the calm before the storm on track. That's what this is. I can tell you, I can feel it.
I feel like all day today, and if you haven't seen the scores, do catch up on Facebook or Twitter. I'm sure that they will be posted on there, but all day today, there has been no quiet. There's just been storms. Just seeing in that last game between
Rotterdam, the Rotterdam Death Row Honeys and Utrecht's Dom City Dolls. Yeah. What a surprise third place too. From Rotterdam. Rotterdam did not expect it. They are ecstatic, I can tell you that.
Oh, yeah, I spoke to one of their bench coaches, very happy indeed. But of course, in their game earlier on today, they won by just 1 point.
Which is also very incredible. I'd like to add, though, Utrecht was in 5th place. They're now in 4th. And right now, we're going to have already go to on track. Rockcity Rollers are doing the rounds.
Okay, so let me just talk you through the roster for Rockcity Rollers. 1-1-1-1, Varus. 1-3-8, it's Killer Illa. 21, Ruby Cruel. 27, Elye. 3-1-3, it's Cat Gore Galore. 36, and the captain, Marcy Misbehave. 43, we have Lollipop Bitch. 5, Dolly Death Star. Number 7, Lotta Havoc. 74, Rosie Galore. 78, Go-Go-Zilla. 82, The Great Tyrant. 87, Sideshow Scatterbrain. And number 9, it is Sif Stitchness.
And that is the purple side of things. Shall I tell you about the Amsterdam Derby Dames? Or we're going to wait with a bit more anticipation as they hit the track? I think that's what we should do.
You certainly can. Let me tell you about the atmosphere here. Now, I don't know how to say the stadium. I have been practicing all weekend. I'm not going to practice here on the live stream. No.
It's very gezellig, which means cozy and fun in Dutch, basically.
Really? Well,
yeah, gezellig.
Yeah, cozy and fun isn't happening. But here at the... No, come on, please help me.
Bloed, skate en tranen, which is basically plain words of blood, skates and tears, blood, sweat and tears.
And we are here
in the Beursgebouw, which is basically just an exhibition hall and called the exhibition hall here downtown Eindhoven.
Yeah, and it is filled. All the seats are filled with supporters for all of the teams today. But right now, skating on track, it is the Amsterdam Derby Dames All-Stars. And Nasty, please talk us through that roster.
I'm definitely going to do that. Number 025, we have Sans Solo. Number 105, we have Ferocious. Number 11, we have Abs of Steel. Number 1212, Major Knox. Number 1313, Ezekiel 2517. Number 15, Dirty Job. Number 20, Petit Carnage. Number 22, Shredder. Number 3, Kim Wilde. Captain, co-captain, number 68, Lee's Lightning. Number 82, Party Sparkle from Hell. And last but not least, number 9277, Fus Roda. And those are the Amsterdam Derby Dam All-Stars.
Oh, a fantastically strong team. And the eagle-eyed among you out there will, of course, remember a lot of these names from the Team Netherlands, who played in the World Cup, the Blood and Thunder World Cup 2014.
Very much so. In fact, half of the Team NL is made up of the All-Stars, joined by a few extra newer players, and who knows, maybe they'll be the Team NL of the future. But yes, Amsterdam is a very present and I dare say a very dominant team in Dutch roller derby as one of the first teams, the first team in the country.
Yeah, and I think that's probably going to be the challenge for the Rockcity Rollers today, is that Amsterdam Derby Dames, I said it yesterday on live stream, I'm happy to say it again, they do have that hive mind. A lot of these skaters have skated together for quite a long time.
True.
They know each other, they trust each other, they understand the wishes of their jammers. And really, I think not from the physicality, not from the tactics, not from a skating point of view, Rockcity are going to have a problem, but actually from how do they break up that team spirit of Amsterdam.
And is a little bit of, almost friendly psychological warfare. Quickly too, Amsterdam is a full WIFTA member, and Rockcity Rollers are an apprentice league, hopefully trying to move up as well. And it'd be nice if Eindhoven has a chance to step out of the shadows, but they have a lot of work to do and a very tough opponent to do it against.
They really do. So it looks like we're about ready to start this final of the Dutch Championships 2015 Blood, Sweat and Tears. We have a number 82, the Great Tyrant, lining up to jam for Rockcity Rollers.
And on the Amsterdam side of things, we have number 68, Lee's Lightning, captain and jammer.
Lee's Lightning we have seen in heavy rotation all weekend on the jammer roster.
That is absolutely true. The Great Tyrant did some fantastic work on her team, so it really is a battle of the wits on track. The mental game is going to be a big deal.
So Lee's Lightning knocked to the outside, recycled all the way back by Marcy Misbehave. She is of course the captain, and it falls to number 82, the Great Tyrant, to pick up lead.
2 blockers already down for Amsterdam, a flying start for Eindhoven, who definitely knows what's at stake right now, as they would really like to win this tournament.
Rockcity Rollers calling off the jam, 5 points on the board for them, 0 to Amsterdam.
And that is how this is going to go for now. Lining up, number 13, Ezekiel, is taking it up against number 27, Elia, who has done some good things too as well as a jammer this weekend.
So if you've just joined us, Rockcity Rollers in the purple, Amsterdam Derby Dames in the black, and we're ready to start this second jam. Elia looking for the space. Ezekiel though out front, she's through as lead, as Elia stuck behind a wall of 2, one of those being Abs of Steel, finally breaks free of the pack, but she's nearly a full lap behind Ezekiel.
And in the second jam, as Amsterdam has the lead, it's the turn of the Rockcity blockers to visit the box, which is quite impressive. It's almost like a mirror image of the first jam.
Yep, Ezekiel there picks up 4 points, calls off the jam. So Amsterdam 4, Rockcity Rollers 5.
On the jam line now we have captain number 36, Marcy Misbehave for Rockcity Rollers, up against number 3, Kim Wild for Amsterdam.
And we're of course seeing a micro pack on track, Nasty, as 2 blockers from the Rockcity Rollers are out to defend against Kim Wild. Marcia Misbehave with only 1 Amsterdam blocker to pass did so and got through for lead.
Yeah, being the only woman on track is not fun as a blocker, and look how fast that situation ended.
Well, let me tell you, Nasty, what is fun is being the only jammer on track. Kim Wild picks up a cut track penalty there. She's sat in that penalty box, meaning power jam start on this next jam for the Great Tyrant, number 82.
Oh, that is a good start definitely for the Rockcity Rollers as they try and position themselves for the bracing for impact, as we say, for the start. Oh, we've got Lotta Havoc, who's wondering if she should be on track or not. A little bit of confusion, and we have a quick official timeout to clarify that with Masuzu there, the Rockcity Rollers coach.
A little confusion never harmed anybody. 2 blockers sitting in the penalty box for Rockcity Rollers. 1 blocker in the penalty box and a jammer for Amsterdam Derby Dames, meaning 3-2 pack advantage to those Derby Dames. But as I said, Rockcity Rollers will be starting this jam on a power jam. So who really has the advantage here?
I don't know. I know that Amsterdam, we're of course, I do roll with the Amsterdam Derby Dames, so I know a little bit of what's going on there. There's kind of like, hey, yay, we get to start in front. They have to make it look like it's to their advantage. And I know them well enough; they'll be able to do that. Still a little bit of confusion, but in a bit we've broken the flow of the game a little bit too, honestly, with discussion. But we need to start properly. That is definitely the case.
Rockcity Rollers on 10, Amsterdam Derby Dames on 4, and it is the Great Tyrant through for lead.
Look at that, and not many blockers. Shredder is sent away for Amsterdam. Look at that, it's 2 against 1 blockers Oh my, that's really not a lot. Dirty Job can't do too much there on her own as the Great Tyrant just rips right through.
And penalty box slowly emptying in the favour of Rockcity Rollers. That was, of course, until number 7, Lotta Havoc, picks up another penalty, sent to the penalty box. But Kim Wilde now back on track and in play for the Derby Dames as number 82, the Great Tyrant, scooches around the outside, picks up 4 more points for Rockcity Rollers, calls off the jam.
I have a feeling that the psychological game is going to be very important. Look at this. We already have a team timeout being called by Amsterdam. And if I can guess, because we're going to wonder about all the penalties, we're going to try and maybe reset a little bit, because actually for both teams, that was quite a difficult start.
Well, of course, we're playing here for first, second place in the Dutch Championships. As we said already, this game was played out 1.5 years ago, so it means a lot to both teams.
It really does.
Of course it does.
And they've met each other on the track before too, as well as home games. But there's a certain feeling you get from an Amsterdam Eindhoven matchup.
Yeah, and you can feel the tenseness in the crowd here at the stadium, which name I cannot pronounce. And
doesn't matter. It's an exhibition hall. We're exhibiting roller derby for you. The Beursgebouw.
The Beursgebouw. Thank you. So you go. I did do it live on the internet.
You're
Beursgebouw.
wonderful.
The first time I've ever spoke Dutch. There you go.
You're great at it.
I'm a natural. I've been told.
For sure.
So team timeout for Amsterdam has ended. I'm just peering over the balcony here. I can see 2 blockers for Rockcity Rollers sitting in that penalty box. 1 for Amsterdam Derby Dames and 2 jammers on the track, which pleases me no end.
Yeah, 3-2 start there. So both jammers have their work cut out for them. Lee's Lightning we have for Amsterdam is up against El Yeah for Rockcity Rollers.
Lee's Lightning taking the inside line. She makes it on through. She is lead as El Yeah, stuck behind a wall comprising of San Solo and 1-2 hard knocks. Finds the space eventually, but she's a full lap behind Lee's Lightning, who comes in to challenge the 2 wall of Rockcity. Well, not much challenge there at all. 4 points picked up for Amsterdam.
Yeah, that was a tough one there for both of them. And, Major Knox taking a hit there too as well. And Ferocious trying to finish the job and recycle El Yeah, while Lee's Lightning just comes in and in a flash goes around, the outside and gets through. Honestly, she's had lead jammer pretty much all weekend. I don't know the exact statistics, but it sure feels that way.
Definitely. 14 points already on the board there for Amsterdam Derby Dames, so they have completely demolished the point differential against them. Lee's Lightning 5 more points on the board now, and we see the jammer for Rockcity Rollers sat in that penalty box. Lee's Lightning coming around for another scoring pass, just wants a pass on the front line. She does it no problem. 5 more for Amsterdam.
Boy, definitely an advantage there with the other jammer in the box. Lee's Lightning is going to use that to her advantage. She's quite fast though, gets a good hit from Killa Illa, who's probably quite happy with that. But Lee's Lightning is just going to bulldoze through, as is the style of Amsterdam, to put 5 more points on the board, bringing up the total right at the moment 33 points, and she's not finished.
She isn't, but back out to challenge is El Yeah, sprung from that penalty box, looking for spaces. Now, of course, Amsterdam with a little bit of penalty trouble for their blockers, and in fact, a little bit of penalty trouble right now for the jammer. Lee's Lightning picks up a 4-ounce penalty. Don't sit in as the jam comes to a natural end. Let me tell you, there was a 29 points scored in that jam for Amsterdam Derby Dames to 5 for Rockcity Rollers. Takes the score. Rockcity Rollers 24, Amsterdam Derby Dames 33.
Marcy Misbehave, ready for a bit of a run-up. Number 36, with only 2 blockers for Amsterdam, as you said, Petit Carnage and Dirty Job, ready for impact, but that's going to be tough because Rockcity's got a full crew there. But Marcy gets around, she does, and she's through for the lead, the Rockcity Rollers.
Rockcity Rollers, Marcy Misbehave, just absorbed that block then from Dirty Jobs. It was like she felt the hit, but she just used the impact to power on through. Yet again, just squeezing through that 2 wall, but Amsterdam Derby Dames, Dirty Jobs off to the penalty box. Now 2 on track for them, but Marcy Misbehave.
Jump. Apex jump it is. I'm sorry, I was mesmerized by that jump. It is not working out so well, but she tried it. She's being recycled, though, by Amsterdam. You can expect more of those today, by the way, Beatrix.
For more Apex jumps, I love them. Can't get enough of them. Lee's Lightning back on track for the Derby Dames, and Marcy Misbehaved, spotting her as she was making her way backwards through that pack, calls off the jam.
That's some pretty exciting stuff. These two teams fighting it out in the battle for first and second place.
So 10 points picked up there by Rockcity Rollers, bringing the scores. Amsterdam Derby Dames 33, Rockcity Rollers 34. If you've just joined us, Amsterdam in the black, Rockcity Rollers in the purple. I am the lovely Beatrix, and joining me for this game is the fantastic
Nasty Moves.
So back on track we have number 82, the Great Tyrant, knocked out by Ferocious, recycled through. It gives number 3, Kim Wilde, the jammer for Amsterdam Derby Dames, lead jammer status.
That is wonderful. Kim Wilde has had a good weekend, all weekend too. She only has one blocker to contend with the one-woman show, which doesn't always pan out so well, but it does dance there in that last scoring pass.
Yeah, and you will notice, of course, no jammer on the track for Rockcity Rollers. The Great Tyrant picks up a cut track penalty. She's sitting for 30 seconds, meaning Kim Wilde jamming unopposed, taking that score differential just a little bit higher. But a beautiful hit from number 43, Lollipop Porn. They're knocking Kim Wilde to the inside line, recycling her all the way back behind a wall of purple and green.
Purple and green is what Kim has to fight with, but she is going to do her best. However, the Great Tyrant dictating her part of the game, trying to get past for at least maybe a couple of points, and she does do it. Look at that, 4 points there extra on the board for the Rockcity Rollers, if my eyes don't deceive me.
So I think the Great Tyrant was just making her way through on her initial pass.
There we go.
The jammer ref signaled 4 points, then he went, oh, actually, I'm wrong, and he dusted them off himself.
I was...
I'm sure that there's a more official way of saying that, but it kind of looked like he was rubbing them off. He was like, I'm sorry, I'm wrong.
No, I do trust my jammer refs, but yes, once in a while it's true, they can get it wrong. We're having a team timeout. Team timeout now, a little powwow. On your screen, you see the girls from Amsterdam just trying to make sure they can get their mojo together, and the same story there being given on your screen as well for Rockcity Rollers, because there's a lot at stake, and the point difference isn't very big. Amsterdam is in front with 47 points with 21 more minutes to go in the first half, but Rockcity Rollers do have 34 points, and that's not much of a lead for Amsterdam right at the moment.
No, I think Rockcity certainly still a challenger for this first place in the Dutch Champs. And if you're enjoying this stream, don't forget you can donate. RollerDerbyTV.com has a donate button. Do click on that. Give us some euros. Give us some pounds if you're watching the
Pounds
UK.
are good.
Give us some dollars if you're out there in the US of A.
There you go. Give us some cash, because the stream is a lot of work, a lot of volunteers, and we really appreciate it. Ezekiel, number 13 for Amsterdam, picks up the lead faster than I can tell you about it. Well done right off the first corner. And she's up against number 5, Dolly Death Star, also doing some great work this weekend for Rockcity Rollers. Ezekiel will have none of it, furiously calls off that jam, picks up 3 points, no points in that last one for the Rockcity Rollers.
Yeah, so that's taking the scoreline up a little bit more. Rockcity Rollers 34, Amsterdam Derby Dames 50. And we are seeing number 68, Lee's Lightning, now lining up for the Derby Dames. She's joined by the captain, 36, Marcy Misbehave for the Rockcity Rollers.
Yeah, and both girls play for Team NL, so they know each other's style quite a bit as well. Will that make a difference? We'll see. Marcy Misbehave is pushing her way through. Lee's Lightning having a bit more of a go at it, though, as she tries to spread out the pack of purple, and she makes it out, picks up the lead for Amsterdam Derby Dames.
Yeah, Marcy Misbehave, challenged around the outside, but found space on the inside. Ferocious, leaving that open. She's out of the pack, though. That was her initial pass, maybe a full lap behind. But the Rockcity Rollers blockers working incredibly hard at keeping Lee's Lightning at bay. They do She's forced to call off the jam, picks up 2 points, but Rockcity Rollers answering with 2 points of their own. Of course, Amsterdam picking up 3 points there, Rockcity Rollers with 2. So up next, we have number 11. It is Abs of Steel for Amsterdam Derby Dames.
And back on the line, we have the Great Tyrant. She's nice and tall. That's how I recognize her. Nice, tall, nice blonde hair, very Dutch woman. The Great Tyrant is number 82. But who has the star that is going to get out of this one first? Oh, there is one person that's going to go to the penalty box first. Unfortunately, the Great Tyrant is going to have a sit down. And the lead is for Abs of Steel.
Yeah, Abs of Steel with a little bit of jammer engagement from the first whistle there. Knocked the Great Tyrant to the inside, forced that cut on her, and we're just seeing the derby prowess of Abs of Steel right now. A beautiful little timed apex jump to get on through the pack, completely neutralising the defences of Rock City. Picks up her first 5 points, a little bit more resistance this time, but 5 more points on the board for Amsterdam.
Well, I can tell you one thing, her famous rugby training always comes through as she bulldozes, which is a bit of her style. Well done again, another 5 points on the board as she watches what's going on with the Rock City jammer, the Great Tyrant, who's also back on track in this jam.
Yeah, just completing her initial pass now. Comes to look for some points. Doesn't get them. Abs of Steel calling off the jam before she could reach the engagement zone. And a back block, a late call being assessed to the Great Tyrant there, meaning she will sit for 30 seconds in that penalty box. Power jam for Amsterdam Derby Dames.
Thanks for pointing that out. I have a feeling that we've had quite a few trips to the box there for the Great Tyrant already in this first half.
So jamming for Amsterdam, it is number 3, Kim Wild. Ferocious, out on track and opening a space, but the Rock City Rollers closing that quite firmly.
Oh, there she goes. Kim gets in through the inside. Sneaky jammer that she is, picks up the lead for Amsterdam. Everyone jockeying into position. Kim Wild around the outside. People are missing her, and that's a good thing for Amsterdam, picking up more points. Rock City should be getting ready for impact. The Great Tyrant back there as well.
Marcy misbehaved, knocking Kim Wild to the inside. She's going to recycle her all the way back. Amsterdam running out of track, called out of play, meaning the Great Tyrant gets on through. That was no points scored in that pass. I think that was her initial pass.
That was her initial pass,
yeah.
Indeed. Being given the, unfortunately, you're not the lead jammer signal. Abs of Steel, no, it is, forgive me, Ezekiel, number 13 on the jammer line, and I believe we have a newcomer on the other side.
Yeah, that's 313, Cat Call Galore. We saw her jamming a little bit yesterday, so interesting to see how she gets on. So far, the jammers for Rock City Rollers have been a little bit penalty heavy, but Cat Call Galore changing that. She gets on through. Ezekiel sneaking around the inside, but lead jammer status does go to Cat Call Galore from the Rock City Rollers.
And Ezekiel is still going to try and get through there and pick up some points and see how that works out.
Ezekiel powering into the triangle that is formed by Rock City Rollers. Cat Call Galore stepping around the defences of Amsterdam, but picks up a cut track penalty. Ezekiel now free to go and pick up further points for Amsterdam. So 5 on the board right now. Cat Call Galore making her way to that penalty box.
Ezekiel biding her time there. She knows what's at stake. She knows she can do some damage there to the other team, Rock City. As you said, the jammers being quite penalty heavy. Not fun at all.
It is 3 on 3 in the pack, and just as I say that, of course, a blocker from Rock City Rollers does pick up a penalty. She will be sitting in that penalty box for 30 seconds. Ezekiel with only 2 to pass. One of those being Marcia misbehave. The other, Verus, calls off the jam as she picks up those points. 5 more on the board for the Derby Dames.
And indeed, and that is advancing their lead right now. Amsterdam Derby Dames are quite a bit more in front, 86 points in total, while there are 39 points for the Rock City Rollers. We are halfway through the first half of this final. We have quite a lot to go. Both teams have getting used to each other, And of course, by the time I say that, there's going to be team timeouts. No, forgive me, an official timeout. If ever we have any more extra information about official reviews or any other big complicated stories, we will have someone that will tell us, and we'll be very, very glad to pass the message on to you as well.
Well, I have to say, I'm not surprised the officials are having a quick timeout. So many penalties already in this first half. Both teams striving for that first place means that we are seeing a little bit of high tariff moves maybe happening, a little bit of will to dominate on the track from both teams, and that can sometimes lead to some penalties.
I think you're absolutely right on that, and I see a lot of maybe extra risks being taken as well. Power jam start, though, for the moment. The Great Tyrant, while Ezekiel from Amsterdam sits in the box. The Great Tyrant picks up the lead for the Rockcity Rollers.
Yeah, great work there around the outside. No problem, no challenge for Amsterdam. This time they're planning to not be caught short. The Great Tyrant, a little bit of a blocker herself, I feel, taking on the 2-wall, knocked out by Ferocious. She's going to be recycled back. Her own team with only two blockers on track. 3 blockers on track, looking to help with some offense, but the Derby Dames now just swarming around her. Finally running out of track, being called out of play, means the Great Tyrant can get on through, picking up 5 points, but Ezekiel, released from the box, will also be looking now to grab some points of her own.
Indeed, she's finished her initial pass, but by the time we've told you about it, the Great Tyrant takes no risks and just calls off that jam. Calm, cool, and collected, I might add, and definitely an asset as a jammer here today for the Rockcity Rollers. Dolly Death Star lining up for the Rockcity Rollers has had a good weekend. I've personally known her more as a blocker, but she's taken on a bit more of a jammer role, which is very pleasant to see. Someone else who's also definitely an all-arounder, Abs of Steel, number 11 for the Amsterdam Derby Dames, and the famous tutu that her mom made for her, or bought for her.
Fantastic work there by Dolly Death Star, jumping through the inside line. If that's even possible, I think she used the force. She got on through for lead jammer. Abs of Steel still in the mix on her initial pass. Dolly Death Star now looking to take the outside line. It's pretty much free and open, but Fluss picks her up, knocks her back. She's going to be recycled to the very back of her pack, and Amsterdam have the opportunity to build a strong wall, but not before Dolly Death Star calls off the jam.
But however, though, Abs of Steel, little hop, skip, and jump at the last minute, does pick up 3 points, and those 3 points are going to matter, bringing them forward and closer to the 100 line. However, very good work there for sure by Rockcity that know what to expect from the Amsterdam Derby Dames at this point.
Yeah, Derby Dames answered those 3 points with 2 of their own. So the scores, Rockcity Roller Girls 51, Amsterdam Derby Dames 93, and right now we have 3-1-3. Cat Core Galore jamming for the Rockcity Rollers, and she will be jamming unopposed as Lee's Lightning sits in that penalty box.
Oh, that's a lot of sinning for jammers today. Not a good place to be, but good thing for Cat Core Galore. However, she's met by a lot of body parts of the Amsterdam Derby Dames. Ferocious there on your screen, last line of defense.
Yeah,
Major Knox trying to join in there.
Major Knox joining in, I was going to say.
She's from your part of the world, Ireland. UK.
So Major Knox knocking the jammer out of play, but actually picking up a penalty for it herself. Cat Core Galore back on track, and the whole crowd here cheering for her. Lee's Lightning, though, back in action for Amsterdam Derby Dames.
Oh, Cat Core Galore there, just going, having a great time. 5 more points, delight the crowd. 4 points, though, as well for Lee's Lightning. We're trying to match tit for tat is pretty much the way this is going at the moment here on track.
Yeah, the Derby Dames, they might not be getting lead jammer as much right now, but they are certainly to keep the points pressure on Rockcity. They're not allowing them to pull away with, they're not allowing them to eat at their lead. They're not allowing them to chip that away. They're still scoring the points there, which is great to see. But I do have to say, Rockcity on the other side of that really calmed down and trying to stop
they're giving them a run for their money.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. Absolutely. That's the way this game's played. New jammer, number 22, Shredded Her, trying to get through a wall of purple as well. Through the inside, picks up the lead.
Yeah, Marcy Misbehave still in the mix, mostly of her own jammers, I do have to say, for a moment then. She's looking to get on through, but coming up against a wall of black and pink as we see the Shredditor hitting the back wall on her initial scoring pass. Marcy Misbehave breaks through the pack now as the Shredditor looks for some offense from her blockers. Well, she gets it from 1-2-1-2 Major Knox. Calls off the jam, picking up 4 points.
And that's, like you said just now, making sure that they keep that lead, even if it's only a small amount of points, but keeping that lead to have a bit of a comfort zone, a buffer zone built up. I know that that's the way that they work, and that's definitely the way they want to keep working. Rockcity Rollers, though, they're going to have to try and get into the game a bit much. They are running behind. They are using some heavy hitters, but by heavy hitters, I also mean jammers. Jammers that score points, and that it will be the Great Tyrant, number 82, on your screen there for the Rockcity Rollers, up against Kim Wilde.
And fantastic
Look
work
at
by the
that.
Great Tyrant. She just saw the space around the outside, didn't go for it immediately, really took her time. The Derby Dames caught unawares, but this time taking a hit from 1-2-1-2 Hard Knocks, which sends her out of bounds on the inside, but skating back in means she's picked up a cut track penalty and will sit for 30 seconds. Kim Wilde asking, I'm sure rather politely, from the Rockcity Rollers to let her on by. Hard Knocks maybe asking a little less politely. Opens the door for Kim Wilde, but Kim Wilde knocked out by number 43, that is Lollipop, and recycled all the way to the back.
Look at that, the pack is thinning out too. Kim has a chance to just, Kim Wilde, get around there too. Ferocious also, but look at this, the box. Let's have a good look. We have a good view on the box. The box is going to get really, really, really busy. There's a lot of hard work there being done. It is just about full, but in the meantime, 5 more points on the board for Kim Wilde, being told to keep on going. 2 against 2 though on track. It's almost a different type of roller derby we're seeing.
Great Tyrant released from the box, and she is going to be tearing it up around that track to get some spaces. 2 on 1 now. Only one Rockcity blocker on track at this moment. But the wonderful, wonderful Great Tyrant just powers on through either way. Comes up against 1-2-1-2. That is, of course, Major Knox. Knocked to the outside, recycled back behind the 2 wall. San Solo now last line of defense against her. Doesn't slow her down. 4 more points on the board for Rockcity Rollers. But Kim Wilde answering with 4 of her own for Amsterdam.
Yeah, this jam is far from over as both. Well, it's now over.
It is actually over.
Jeez, that's
it
what I was
wasn't
gonna
far
say.
from over.
It wasn't far from over, but now it is. Boy, roller derby happens fast. Both jammers there did a great job scoring points for their team. That's easily said, and it's also easier said than done. Amsterdam over the 100 mark there. 110 points, that is. Rockcity 65, and ADD, or Amsterdam Derby Dames, are running off with it a little bit, building up a comfortable lead as we slowly go into halftime. First, we're going to have a little bit of a official timeout.
Yeah, we've still got just under 7 minutes of this first half left. Of course, we are here, Blood, Sweat and Tears 2015. And don't forget, during that halftime, you're going to see the junior Rockcity Rollers making their internet debut.
That's absolutely true, too, as well. I don't know if they realize that, but we're seeing them practice on the other track right now, and it is the cutest thing I've ever seen. Every time I see Junior Derby, I just think it's so cute. I've had the pleasure of announcing it as well, and it was an absolute delight to see kids following rules and having an unbelievable track awareness. I'll never forget the first time I had the occasion to do that in Belgium, and hopefully I'll have a chance to do it soon in the Netherlands.
Well, you're going to have chance in just one moment, because we will, of course, be talking about the Junior League as they do their demonstration during halftime. At least I hope you will, otherwise I'll be a lone voice out.
No, I'll be there with you.
Out here on RollerDerbyTV.com.
Don't leave me alone. Don't leave me alone. Don't do that. We're back on track. Let's have a good look at things.
Well, we're actually not. We're going to an official review. Rockcity Rollers asking for that official review.
I was back on track. Everyone's back on track, but we are going to have a discussion.
Hey, Nasty, you were just ready to start with
I was
some more
ready.
roller derby,
I was
right?
just like ready to go already myself in my brain. Although I am usually more of a blocker than a jammer. I don't know if that has like a lover-fighter kind of thing to it. You two, we've played against each other. Isn't that amazing?
We have, yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah. Sort of.
We've sort of in the same hall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Funny enough, I kind of like that. We're really happy to have everyone listening to us. We're doing this in English, but we're catering to a wider audience. People from the US, the UK have been listening to us. Germany has chimed in. I'm going to expect, of course, the Netherlands. Who knows who else has been chiming in to these Dutch champs. We're very, very happy to be able to bring that to you on streaming. Quite a privilege to do that.
Yeah, I think what you're trying to say there is we've got an international audience for this game, right?
Well, just you and me already makes it an international audience.
Exactly.
Because if I'm not mistaken, you're from the UK and I'm from Canada. Just going to confuse everyone even more of that. By the way, I'd like to just point that out. I know for a fact Amsterdam has about 12, 15 different nationalities skating for them-ish. Very different from Rockcity. Rockcity is more of a family local affair with a very different feel to their to their teams. And although we're all Dutch, basically, we're all quite different from.
We're just waiting for that information about the official review to come up here to us. But in the meantime, we are going to start the next jam. Number 5, Dolly Death Star, jamming for the Rockcity Rollers.
And she's up against Ezekiel, number 13 of the Amsterdam Derby Dames, who gets out for the lead by the time I've told this right through corner 1. Fantastic work. Dolly Death Star stuck in traffic, though. Nice hit out, though, by Abs of Steel.
Yeah, Abs of Steel there, knocking her out, recycling her to the back, and it is Petty Carnage also in attendance, keeping Death Star at bay. She does make it out on her initial pass, but 5 points so far picked up for Ezekiel.
That is absolutely fantastic for one side, but then we have Dolly Death Star there not doing too much, or not being able to, actually, is quite the truth, as Ezekiel calls off that jam. And I believe we have some information from the track.
Yep, so Rockcity were looking for the cutting call on their jammer to be overturned. The officials reviewed it, the call stands.
Yeah, that's kind of the way things work most of the time. However, there are surprises, and people are going to take more official reviews and be more careful because it is a final. That is true as well.
Yeah, they're going to want to make sure that their jammer's out on track as much as possible. So right now, let's see who is there. It is number 82, the Great Tyrant, playing in purple for the Rockcity Rollers.
And in black, on the other side of things, we have number 68, Lee's Lightning. But look at that. The lead is for the Great Tyrant.
Fantastic tenacity by the Great Tyrant, just edging around the outside, very aware of her footwork, keeping inbounds as much as possible. Hits the back of the pack, not enough jammer separation between her and Lee's Lightning. Calls off that jam, 0-0 points scored by both teams. Yeah,
that's a lot of energy there. No points is also good, of course, for the Rockcity Rollers, who would want to stop the lead that Amsterdam has built up at the moment. 119 points for Amsterdam against 65 points for Eindhoven Rockcity Rollers. Little less than 5 minutes to go into the first half of this. So let's see how that lead will be built up or how the gap will be closed. Abs of Steel in the lead for Amsterdam.
Yeah, and she'll certainly be looking to pick up that lead, but it's not going to happen for her. She is off to the penalty box. Forearms penalty assessed. Marcy and Misbehave passing the star to 78.
And that would be Go Zilla that we've seen also quite a bit this week. And every once in a while, she sneaks through.
Go Zilla doing a great job of sneaking on through there past Petty Carnage, but takes a tumble right at the end. Fuss and Dirty Jobs in attendance to try and slow her down. 5 points picked up for Rockcity as Amsterdam have Petty Carnage and Fuss sat in that penalty box. I think there was an out of play call for them.
But look at that. This is a good times here for Rockcity. putting 4 more points there on the board. Both jammers on track, though. Abs of Steel is back in, having a rough time getting onto the track. That is not fun. And in the meantime, the superpower that is Go-Gozilla in this jam is just doing it to it for the Rockcity Rollers.
Yeah, she was pretty much unopposed as she went around the inside line there. This time, 1 to pass. They're called out of play. A further 5 points on the board for Rockcity.
This is definitely a good jam for Rockcity now, trying to move up for things, and we're really excited. I am. But Amsterdam fighting their way through the pack. Abs of Steel trying to keep it together. Marcy, trying to get at her also Team NL teammates.
Yeah, so 4 points more on the board for Amsterdam Derby Dames. But Go-Gozilla through that pack. Another 4 for them, taking their current jam total to 22 against Amsterdam's jam total of 4. Well, that does come to a natural end. And I have to tell you,
blood sweaty end too.
Rockcity Rollers are looking pretty happy with that jam. So Rockcity Rollers 87, Amsterdam Derby Dames 126. We have less than 30 seconds.
No, we have a 30 seconds.
I don't know why I said that.
I'll tell you what, I'll help you out. We have a timeout because we know about timeouts. We have 200, sorry, you see, I'm the one doing it. 2 minutes, we're too excited. 2 minutes and a half to go in this first half of the final of this wonderful tournament, Bloedskate en Tranen 2015. And a lot of penalties going on. I saw Petit Carnage go in twice as a blocker in the penalty box. Shredder is there as well. We have the Great Tyrant, if I am not mistaken. No, it isn't. It is Stiff Stitches sitting in there as well.
Yeah, we do have the Great Tyrant on track though, and wearing the jammer cover for the Rockcity Rollers. She's up against Major Knox, and ferocious. Major Knox knocking her to the outside, recycling her back. Kim Wilde suffering at the front, but she breaks on through first for lead jammer status for Amsterdam Derby Dames.
Yeah, go Kimmy it is. Kim keeping her concentration. She's very aware of her size, uses it quite a bit. Oh, look at that, through the middle, takes a tumble, keeps it legal, but has to call off the jam. Or wanted to, because that was probably a good choice.
Yeah, she picked up 3 points, though, along the way there for Amsterdam Derby Dames.
Yeah, even on the floor, you can do fantastic things. And calling off the jam is actually quite wise. Takes a lot of energy to stand up, and sometimes that's just not the best thing to do.
So now, captain number 36, Marcy Misbehave for the Rockcity Rollers.
She's up against the other captain, co-captain Ezekiel, as they exchange heavy-duty glances. But it is Ezekiel getting the lead pretty much every time she's on track this weekend, and focused and concentrated for her team.
Marcy Misbehave with 2 to pass at the front on her initial pass, but Ezekiel coming in now for a scoring run. She's got a triangle of doom at the back. Calls off the jam, as I'm sure she feels Marcy Misbehave's death stare on her back.
Oh, but I'm telling you, Ezekiel gives a fantastic death stare. But she gives a fantastic smile. I have to be very, very fair about that as well. Marcy can give you a really good death stare as well. But again, they both play together in Team NL, so they know each other's strengths and weaknesses. I don't know if that's something that happens often in your country, where 2 different teams actually end up playing with each other often on another team. For us, that's quite unique in this country.
So 3 points put on the board by Amsterdam Derby Dames, taking their score to 133, Rockcity Rollers 87. And we're seeing Cat Core Galore jamming for Rockcity. Number 68, Lee's Lightning for the Derby Dames. So Cat Core Galore picks up a track cut penalty. We'll sit for 30 seconds in that penalty box.
Power jam time for Amsterdam. Power jam does rhyme with Amsterdam, but that's just a coincidence. Lead it is. A little bit of a fixing up of the gear there, as Lees comes in pretty hot for another run up at the 3 blockers of Rockcity that are on track. Gets by quite easily, puts 5 more points on the board for Amsterdam.
Yeah, and Lee's Lightning making great use of this, the final jam of the first half, to grab some more points, up that differential so that when they do come back from the second half, maybe a little bit less pressure for Amsterdam Derby Dames, I'm not sure. Back on track and in play. She hits the wall hard but legally. Dolly Death Star offering some offense up, but a back block penalty assessed to Catcall Galore. She will sit for a further 30 seconds in that penalty box.
Oh, that's a bit of frustration and as well. And of course, the lead that Amsterdam has built is not helping, but there are a lot of jammer penalties very much happening here for Rockcity. You can see the nodding of the heads as people go to the box. But in the meantime, Lee's Lightning trying to keep it together, but picks up a track cut, skates around, and we're going to do a jammer swap, or I'd like to call in the United States a do-si-do.
But Catcall Galore already released from that box. She served her 30 seconds, 10 seconds left of this jam, which means there will be a power jam in the second half. Catcall Galore now making it on through.
Still very disappointed though about it. There will be, not being able to score points, but like you said, it's probably a major advantage for starting on a power jam and on the second half, a little bit of psychological warfare is maybe a big word, but a little bit of control maybe.
Okay, so let's have a recap of those scores. It is, of course, Rockcity Rollers 87, Amsterdam Derby Dames 150, and as we've already said, this game has been played out before. The last Dutch Championships, it was there. I wonder if Amsterdam were feeling that it was going to be as close as this going into half-time.
They were very nervous last time, I can tell you that much. I remember quite well a lot of the cheering we did, but I can tell we were very relieved once it was over and there was a win.
I have to say, penalties on both sides at the start of that first half. Obviously, both teams really wanting to get the lead and a comfortable lead. It's kind of settled down right now, and we are seeing that Amsterdam have took that lead, but Rockcity still providing the pressure.
That's absolutely true, and focus is one of those things that is going to be very important. In the meantime, in the halftime, look at your screen. It's going a little bit slower and a little bit smaller. We have the junior Rockcity Rollers, and I can even tell you their names and numbers being presented. Poison Enfi, 1804. Whole Lotta Lola, 387. We're going to have Novalicious, number 11. All three of them in purple, being pushed around the track as a mini pack. That's what we're called. Mini pack it is. And now we're going to show the green part of the green team as well. We've got Mighty Mika, number 578. We're doing our best to tell you all about the numbers. We have Laser Lotte, number 912, will be there too. We're going to have Jolly Lightning in the purple coming up, number 4. Minnie McHaggis, number 8. We have Axie Baxi, number 2509. Skunky, number 1208. We're going to have Evil Miss Curly Girly, 1508 in the purple. Power Girl, 1207 in the purple. We're going to have Raving Rabbits, 0403. We're going to have Wild Style, 1414, both in green. Purple back again. Evil Catwoman, 433. Crazy Q, 100. And last but not least in the green, Wicked Cupcake Crusher, 3004. And the lovely Terror Fairy. Boy, I'd love to be have a kid called like that. 23112. And we have very different age groups there, just from what we can see. And those are the junior Rockcity Rollers. And I'll tell you what, they're managed by the lovely Marcy Misbehave, who set up the project initially.
Well, they must just feel absolutely fantastic about being here at the final of the Dutch Champs and seeing their coach playing in this final. Of course, Junior Roller Derby, helping to train the stars of roller derby for the future and stars of their own right now in Junior Roller Derby. And so, Please. I wanted to add that someone pointed me out the other day that it is a big deal because a lot of big sports around the world always have a junior program, and a junior program is the way to invite people to play roller derby. Roller derby doesn't quite have that everywhere, especially not in the Netherlands. So this is very, very
important for the continuation of the sport, which is something you've pointed out as well.
Yeah, and you're going to see right now a demonstration from the Junior League. I think they're going to be showing off some of their minimum skills. Jumping cones.
Those aren't minimum skills, they're maximum skills. That's what that is.
They're mad skills, let me tell you.
They're crazy. I love it though. Look at that, all the sizes, shapes and sizes. The crowd is really, really loving this. I think it's a fantastic initiative and always fun to have at a halftime. I really like watching demos of junior roller derby. And of course, when I have a chance to watch a game, I really want to watch one as well.
So some fantastic work going on here. I'm trying to resist the word cute because I'm pretty sure these girls are terriers on skates. I have no doubt in my mind that they're no different from a grown-up roller derby girl.
And you know, a lot of them don't really speak English. They speak Brabants, Dutch, the local language. And soon they'll be speaking and working the language of roller derby. Look how well organized these girls are. They've practiced quite a bit for this. And look at that, and we're off. They're doing jumps over on one foot, jumps with both feet. We're going to even see some positional blocking there in the beginning. Look at that.
You're seeing there number 2812. I think it was.
Yeah, forgive me for not knowing exactly who they are. We're just mesmerized by their qualities. Look at that little bit of jumping over. It doesn't matter how old you are so much. I believe the program starts at about age 7, but I think some of the girls are maybe a bit younger, I'm not sure.
Fantastic work. Mighty Mika there, 5'7", taking a jump. She's joined by number 4, that is Jolly Lightning.
I bet you the parents are loving this too as well.
Well, I know that they're in the crowd. I saw some of them earlier when the juniors were warming up. And the look of pride on their faces was fantastic.
It is, and look, they're even posing for pictures. They know how the internet works nowadays. We've got Lizzie Slaughter of the Rockcity Rollers joining in, who also helps out with the junior program. And some proud teammates. Look at that.
We're going to see a jam happening right now. And fantastic work. Big smile on her face there. It is 1208 or 1508. Evil Miss Curly Girly. Jamming for the green team. It's number 4, Jolly Lightning.
Oh, look at Jolly Lightning coming in there from the back. We have to get used to a whole new roster for you.
You know what? It was 1208. I'm sorry, she's in green here. She's actually called Skunky.
She's confusing us. Let's just have a look at the colors. Positional blocking, though, trying to keep it legal, if we dare say that about small children. But small children don't care because they can show us what they do.
Skunky keeping it legal. She made her way through that pack, no problem. And now we've got green, number 4, Jolly Lightning, chasing her down as the green blockers building a wall of positioning prowess against the purple jammer Skunky.
Yeah, well...
Oh, come on, Jolly Lightning.
That's no laughing matter.
Hey,
look
listen,
at that.
I'm not laughing, my ovaries are exploding.
Okay, well, keep that to yourself. That's good. That's good. Look at that. That was a demo. That was a bit of a jam. They're going to do something that looks a little bit like a video game. I do not know exactly when they will do it, but we're going to try and comment. Oh, yeah, give the helmet panty back. Yep. Oh, we're going to have a little bit bigger girls there. We've got pivots and jammers in there. That looks like a real jam start to me. 2 jammers trying to get through the pack, as it is. Look at that. It's done. The green girl is in front.
Yep, green jammer making her way. She is 2, 3, 1, 2. The lovely Terra Fairy.
What a fantastic name. That's my favorite name so far. She's coming in, but she does have some competition from a little purple jammer. And as they ignore each other for a non-jammer on jammer action, no pushing, a little bit of shoving there.
That is a 387. Whole lot of Lola purple jammer.
Purple jammers and green ones. The Rockcity Roller colors.
I'm trying very hard because I do want to name check these superstars of roller derby.
They have complicated numbers. but it is all about stop pass. That's what it's about. Oh, and the crowd goes bonkers.
1804. Enfield taking the stand. She is already a crowd favourite as she comes in.
Oh, look at that.
Through the middle.
Oh, with no resistance at all. Oh my, that was just fantastic. She knows she's doing it to it. She's coming in for another run. She's got to contend with the green jammer though.
Yeah, pivot, making space for the green jammer. That is, of course, 2-3-1-2, the lovely Terra Fairy. But Poison Emphy lapping the lovely Terra Fairy to take the win, I guess.
Yeah, well, everyone's a winner at this kind of demo. Look how proud their coaches are. They're like, yeah, that's fantastic. It's a crowd pleaser, makes everyone happy, and it looks absolutely fantastic.
So next jam coming up, and I think we're seeing the younger roller girls once again.
I think we are. We've got one green jammer and one purple jammer.
Hey, that's good going right now. Let me tell you.
They're challenging they're questioning my abilities to announce stuff. We've got number 912, which doesn't. Oh, there she is, Laser Lotte, although wearing the purple for this demo. And out of the pack, though, on her own, who needs to skate maybe a bit faster? She's getting Mighty Mika, it is.
Fantastic. Mighty Mika powering around as we are seeing the lovely Whole Lotta Lola. Oh, no, not Whole Lotta Lola. 912.
It's a whole lot of kids. That's what we're watching.
A lot of kids.
It's a whole.
Lottie making her way to the pack, but Mighty Mika finds that inside line. Well, the crowd is going wild here at the Biscabao Arena.
She knows where that inside line is, which is already fascinating, meaning that the coaches are doing a great job teaching the kids of tomorrow how to play roller derby. I love it, empowering little girls. Look at all the coaching. Look at the encouragement too. They're getting more encouragement than the finals right now. I don't know if that's good or bad. It's still pretty cool.
Huge. City, fantastic.
I think it's a great idea. It's just so charming to watch. We're a bit mesmerized by the talents that all these girls have. We're gonna have slightly bigger girls now on track, making sure their helmet panties are in order and are ready to go. Jam is on. Green jammer through the inside. No problem at all. Purple jammer, though, not giving up at all. Green jammer comes in nice 1 foot plow, I have to admit. Getting help on the outside. Actually, so we saw some offense there, which is just lovely. Good blocker work too. We're looking at the jammers because they're the ones moving, but those blockers are forming a flat wall and have some awareness as to where the opposing jammer is. So yeah, have a quick look at those blockers, Beatrix, because they're definitely helping those jammers through, and that is something else.
Yes, they are doing some great work out on track. The whole arena cheering them on.
We just can't get enough of it. I think that's the problem. It's going to be difficult going back to the final. No, it won't. But that more roller derby for us, more roller derby for you too. What a great halftime show!
Absolutely fantastic. And the green jammer finding her spaces on the outside. Purple jammer, power girl, also breaking her way on through. Well, I think that's a demonstration coming to an end there. My goodness me. What a fantastic way to spend a halftime.
And you know what? No penalties. How's that for no penalties?
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
How's that for a show? So right now, the whole arena,
they're going wild.
making sure these roller girls, these superstars of our sport, get the full hero treatment. We're seeing London Bridges, We're seeing hand slaps and even the officials.
And the teams too, look at that. Amsterdam and Rock City have joined in the tunnel of love that they're giving the junior Rockcity Rollers.
In fact, nearly the whole crowd creating this tunnel of love. Beautiful. I kind of wish I was down there myself to go and give them a hand slap.
I'll pretend I didn't hear that. It's like a rock candy. No, don't give hand slap. No slapping though. Just a hand
No,
slap.
a hand, like a high five.
I was joshing you.
Oh,
a little bit. It's like a hard candy with a soft shell.
Right. I just didn't want anybody thinking I wanted to slap children.
Oh, you would never do that. I know.
I'm the lovely Beatrix. I do
You
have
are
a
the lovely
reputation
Beatrix.
to
You
uphold.
are. You are. I was just kidding. The tunnel of love though is one of those things that are increasingly more popular, and they totally deserve that. Look at their happy faces. They made it for a fantastic halftime show. And at that halftime, though, is coming to an end when we're going to get back to the adult, serious roller derby stuff. Which didn't give us much of a break, but it did teach us something about teamwork and getting no penalties. But that was a bit of a joke on my part.
Yeah, because I was going to say, you can really see the training that junior league have put in.
Clearly.
I'm sure not long before more junior leagues join them over here in the Netherlands.
I can tell you that Amsterdam is trying as well, but there's not that many kids to choose from. But we're getting there, and we're hoping for one. Well, Amsterdam is hoping for a junior league as well.
Well, I know somebody else who's hoping for one more. That would be number 42, the Great Tyrant, who is lead jammer for Rockcity Rollers as we kick off this second period. Lee's Lightning, of course, starting in the penalty box. And just to recap on those scores right now, Rockcity Rollers 87, Amsterdam Derby Dames 150. If you've just joined us, Amsterdam in the black and pink, Rockcity Rollers in the purple.
That is, and the Great Tyrant doing it to it there for Rock City, as she had a nice power jam start as left over from the second half. And 4 more points on the board there for the Rockcity Rollers. The Great Tyrant is the one to watch, dictating the rules of this jam.
Well, I don't know what Rockcity Rollers coach said to them in the halftime, but what I do know is that they have come out certainly as a pack, as a blocking force, really in full swing, keeping Lee's Lightning at bay for pretty much the entire time she was on track after coming out of that penalty box. So great work there by Rockcity Rollers defenses. 12 points picked up by the jammer, taking the score. Rockcity Rollers 99, Amsterdam Derby Dames 150.
And we have Marcy Misbehave back on track for Amsterdam. For Rockcity Rollers, of course. And I was going too fast. Amsterdam. Ezekiel, speaking of fast, she's trying to get through that pack as fast as she can because she has a power jam. Marcy misbehaved and was sent to the box.
Yeah, she picked up a back block penalty there just at the start of the jam, so she is sitting in the penalty box. Ezekiel ready on her initial scoring pass. Abs of Steel coming in to disrupt the Rockcity Rollers wall.
Yep, that is her prime function at the moment. But Ezekiel looking for the sweet spot there through the pack, met by a wall of purple, trying to push that wall through, spread it out, and she does it, while Marcy Misbehave just nips in front of her and gets back on track to no avail.
It is to no avail by Amsterdam. 99 to 155 in favour of the Amsterdam Derby Dames. We're starting this next jam with a free and clear penalty box. I say that as it is a matter of note in this game, I think.
It makes you happy, and if it makes you happy, we'll talk about it. But it's also great for both teams. 4-on-4 blockers, more action to watch on track, more difficult for both jammers. The Great Tyrant up against Kim Wilde.
Both jammers pushing on strong walls, built by these teams. The Great Tyrant looking for spaces. She's just pushing forward. Neither team giving any quarter. Kim Wilde also waiting for a gap, a lapse of concentration from the Rockcity Rollers. It's not happening right now, but Lee's Lightning knocking the Great Tyrant to the outside, recycling it back. Kim Wilde undergoing the same treatment, and the Great Tyrant actually being sent off to the penalty box. Cut track or track cut or cat trucks penalty assessed.
Oh, funny one. That was a bit of a late call there. Ferocious managed to force a track cut, and it took a while for that to actually be in motion for the Great Tyrant. But but a bit more stealth style here. 5 points. Kim Wilde. She's not a cat. She likes cats, and she skates very stealth-like cats do sometimes.
Well, she was stealthily around the outside there, hitting number 78 or 87 rather. That is Sideshow Scatterbrain. Kim Wilde knocked to the inside, recycle back. Ferocious going in to offer up some support. The Great Tyrant now back in the mix for Rockcity Rollers. Kim Wilde calling off the jam, picks up 5 points.
Quick look at the board in the meantime. We have Amsterdam clearly in front for now with 165 points. Rockcity Rollers coming up to the 3 digits. They have 99 points. And we have quite a while to go here in the second half of the final between the Rockcity Rollers of Eindhoven and the Amsterdam Derby Dames.
Abs of Steel number 11 with some jammer hitting, but it is 27. The fantastic making it through as lead for Rockcity. Just exactly what Rockcity need right now. A little bit of good news, a little bit of lead jammer. Abs of Steel knocked to the inside, recycled back by Captain Marcia Misbehave. She's looking to power on through now as Elye with 1 to beat makes it through. 5 points for Rockcity Rollers.
And that pack was going quite fast there, trying to give Abs a run for her money, Abs of Steel. But by the time that gets going, it is called off. But I could feel the tension in that one. They were really going for each other.
Yeah, well, Rockcity Rollers passing the 100 mark now. They're on 104. Amsterdam Derby Dames 165. That is, of course, a 61-point differential. 24 minutes just over on the clock for this second half. So Rockcity yet again just keeping that pressure on Amsterdam Derby Dames, not allowing them to rest up, waiting for them perhaps to make that mistake which they can capitalise on. I mean, so far power jams haven't really gone well.
No, they haven't, and you're absolutely right. Your analysis. This is definitely what an Amsterdam Eindhoven game feels like. Cat core galore, though, very happily has taken lead jammer for Rockcity, adding to the pressure. She's got Lee's Lightning behind her to contend with, and is going to go for the hit it and quit it.
He does. Picks up 4 points for Rockcity Rollers. 1 point awarded to Amsterdam Derby Dames, though.
Yeah, and Amsterdam can get frazzled sometimes. Actually, all teams can as well, but it is a final. There's a lot of pressure on Amsterdam to keep their title. You can imagine that. And the Rockcity Rollers, I can tell you one thing, they're hungry for it. They really are, and they're showing that to us today in lead point gap that is, if I remember correctly, a bit closer than it was a year and a half ago.
Absolutely. We've seen great performances from both these teams this weekend. Right now, 82, the Great Tyrant back on track for the Rockcity Rollers. She's pushing forward, only Abs of Steel to pass. She makes it on through. Lead jammer yet again for Rockcity Rollers. So they are on a little bit of a roll here. As I said, putting that pressure. Ezekiel, though, jammer for Amsterdam Derby Dames. Out of the pack, not a lot of separation. Rockcity Rollers pick up 3 points, call off the jam as quick as they possibly can, denying the Derby Dames any.
We've got Kim Wilde back on track for Amsterdam jammer. We've got Marcy Misbehave. And look at that, only 2 blockers apiece. 2 on 2. That is going to make it interesting in this one as we wait for the starting whistle.
It really is. Current scores 1-1-1 to Rockcity, 1-6-6 Amsterdam Derby Dames, but it is captain Marcia Misbehave who's lead jammer for the Rockcity Rollers.
She did that with a twist and spin, which she's been perfecting this whole weekend. Look at that. She does it again. She finds that small space and just goes right through. She makes it look easy.
I think maybe her hips are like, maybe not like normal people's hips. I think she has a twist action, which is
like a Barbie doll.
Like an owl. Yeah.
Like an owl. Yeah, but a good Barbie doll, of course.
Yeah.
She goes in and she makes it so that she can squeeze into small spaces.
She can almost rotate 360 degrees is what I'm trying to say, because there wasn't spaces there. I'm not having that.
Okay.
All right, up next now, it's number 27, Oh Yeah, for Rockcity Rollers.
But it is Ezekiel in the lead, though. Ezekiel's been getting lead quite straight the whole time. We're loving Elia, but Elia, it's not for her in this jam. Ezekiel hits it and quits it. Little bit of frustration there, hoping for some points. 2 points it is. She was hoping for 3, but that's not the way it works, unfortunately.
Yeah, Rosie Galore, number 75, had knocked her off track, so kind of forced that call off from her. And I did see, we talked about a little bit of frustration as she was calling off that jam.
That is a bitter style.
Rockcity just getting into their heads a little bit of mind games with the Amsterdam Derby Dames. Rockcity Rollers, of course, 115. Amsterdam Derby Dames, 168. We've got 20 minutes just over left of this game. And now Lee's Lightning pushing forwards, but the Great Tyrant finds the line open on the outside. Takes full advantage to become lead jammer. And Lee's Lightning off to the penalty box.
Great Tyrant there, trapped behind a blocker. That was Major Knox sent to the box. Ferocious there, not being able to do too much with her teammates. The Great Tyrant just has that calm, cool, collected face, and she just plows through. She's a great asset to her team in this jam too as well. Look at that, 5 more points.
Yeah, passing Sansolo on the inside line. Pretty much untroubled, as you say, that skating style. Very calm, very cool. No sudden movements, almost as if she's approaching a bear. And of course, when you have Ferocious on track, that's exactly what you're doing. Ferocious, a brilliant blocker for the Amsterdam Derby Dames, and certainly a powerhouse blocker for them. But now Lee's Lightning back on track and in play. Number 21, Ruby Cruel, facing her down as the Great Tyrant comes on through for another 4-point scoring pass.
It's quite incredible. She's just going round and round. It's great. Lee's Lightning, though, no fight for her. The Great Tyrant.
Yeah,
it just did absolutely fantastic. I can see it on your face too as well. Look at her. She's happy. She's a little tired. She had a good one. That is for sure. Coach Masuzu there, giving her a huge hand slap or a high five of happiness.
Yeah, 23 points worth of happiness, I imagine, because that's what she scored. Rockcity Rollers 138, Amsterdam Derby Dames 168. Now you all know my maths ain't great, but a 30-point differential is exactly what I'm seeing with 19 minutes to go.
And that is then really close. If you look on your screen, you may see a really weird green light bulb show up. Maybe, maybe not. We can tell you though, there's a mascot on track. Maybe we'll see a flash of it. For now, we're seeing, of course, just a little powwow for the next lineup there of the Rockcity Rollers. There's a busy bench, a busy penalty box.
Yeah, Amsterdam Derby Dames also taking a time out at this moment. Of course, they've been on the receiving end of quite a few jams where Rockcity have took the lead. They've dominated the track. They've scored the points. So a team timeout right now seems sensible. Break that flow a little bit. Get their heads back into the game.
There's that too, and there's I insist that the psychological aspect of the game, like you said, getting into each other's heads, is going to play a crucial role in the winner and losers of this, the first place and the second place actually of this tournament.
So let me tell you, there are 2 blockers sat in that penalty box for the Rockcity Rollers. 2 blockers for Amsterdam Derby Dames, meaning an absolute micro pack out on track. We will have number 11, Abs of Steel for the Amsterdam Derby Dames, facing up against captain number 36, Marcy Misbehave for the Rockcity Rollers.
Yeah, that 2 against 2 gives a lot of opportunities for jammers. Look at her run up there. It is Abs of Steel. A little bit of blocking there. Marcy goes down. Abs in front. Hop, skip, and a jump. And thought we'd pick up the lead, but she's picked up a misconduct, I believe. But in any case, a penalty goes to the box, which means Marcy Misbehaved has the lead.
She does have lead and the power jam. So misconduct on Abs of Steel. Penalty box slowly emptying for both teams. Marcy Misbehave now with petty carnage to get past. Fuss also in attendance as the last line of defence, really making Marcy Misbehave work for this point, which she does. 5 in the sky for the Rockcity Rollers.
And the crowd is watching there, that scoreboard, as the points move forward there for the Rockcity Rollers in the name of Marcy Misbehave.
We're seeing that wonderful twisting action yet again as she comes around the side of 1-2-1-2, major knocks. Abs of Steel also going in there. And she herself completes her initial scoring pass as Marcy Misbehave, knocked out by petty carnage. I think she worried that if she got back on track there, she would have got the cut track called off the jam from the sidelines.
Yeah, better safe than sorry,
Yeah.
especially in this case. And my announcer math is doing well as well. Easily seen 168 Amsterdam, 148 Eindhoven. That is a 20-point difference. And that's not much. That's, again, maybe just a power jam with a little more than 17 minutes to go in this second half. I hear whistling. We're going to have a little official timeout. A little bit of a discussion. Very quick discussion, that is. As we get back on track, Kim Wilde setting up for Amsterdam, and
3-1-3, that cat call galore for Rockcity. Cat call galore choosing the outside line but finds it full of Amsterdam players. Kim Wilde now also going there. It's been filled up with Rockcity Rollers. Number 87, that is the Sideshow Scatterbrain, and number 5, Dolly Death Star, both in attendance, knocking Kim Wilde to the outside, recycling her back through. She is lead jammer though, but Cat Call Galore still pushing on, looking for that space.
yeah, and Kim just keeps on going. She got an elbow, someone got paid for it, they went to the box. Kim Wilde though has the lead for the Amsterdam Derby Dames.
Cat Call Galore dancing literally on her toe stops to try and get on through the pack. Kim Wilde knocked to the outside. She's also picked up a back block penalty, meaning this is a power jam for the Rockcity Rollers. And Cat Call Galore though still on her initial pass. The Amsterdam Derby Dames blocking contingent not giving her an inch right now.
Oh, we love a good blocking. Didn't work out so much. One blocker down, Ferocious.
Well, she took more than an inch, you see. She ran out of track. She got a blocking out of play.
I love that running out of track expression. It's not so much fun when it happens to you, though, of course. We have a star pass in progress as Cat Call Galore picks up the star there, but it doesn't work out. Fairy tales sometimes don't come true. This means that Kim Wilde gets to enjoy a power jam, trying to keep it legal, though.
And Kim Wilde
does not. My God, what is happening? That is a very unfortunate moment. She is sent to the penalty box, which means we're going to have a jammer swap.
Well, we will, but of course this is the second time Kim Wilde has visited the penalty box in this jam, so she will sit for the full 30 seconds regardless of what happens in the next jam coming up. Needless to say, that was a 0-0 jam for both teams.
So much work, so no results, not very good. However, it does mean that the Rockcity Rollers get to start on a power jam in the name of Elie.
Yes, number 27, Elie, the lone jammer out there on track. Thankfully, she's not alone in terms of her teammates. Full contingent of blockers.
And we're going to have a little chit-chat as well, maybe some adjustment about the points. Just keeping you informed, it's not always ultra important or game-changing, but it is the final, and it's always nice to know what's going on down there on track.
As we did say, first half particularly, it was a heavy, penalty-heavy game in the first half. That's kind of continued into the second half, I think.
That absolutely has. Oh, and then finally people are starting to cheer a little bit for Amsterdam. Maybe for Eindhoven they should be cheering soon enough. And it is true, I was looking at it, 105 Ferocious has unfortunately fouled out. So that is our first foul out of this game.
So we have just over 14 minutes left of this game. Now Ferocious is a game changer blocker for Amsterdam Derby Dames.
She's a very important person and an important personality, which gives the impression of that. Absolutely on track, and I'm sure she's not thrilled about having to foul out at such a moment. No fun. Matter. It's not fun. There's a little bit of dancing on track in the meantime. Dancing on track is allowed. It's in the rules.
I don't think I read that page. Is it in the after party rules?
Ooh, that's a good comeback. I'm going to use that in the future. Well, frenemies, that's kind of the term. I mean, these girls come up against... In fact, every time these girls come up against each other in the past, it's always been a high-stakes game. They don't play casually against each other. They always play for a high-stake game. I think that's the difference between the Rockcity Roller matchup and the Amsterdam Derby matchup, Derby Dames matchup, generally speaking.
So, just to update you, we are seeing Elje standing in the penalty box. Number 3, Kim Wilde, jammer for Amsterdam Derby Dames, sitting in the penalty box.
Oh, and someone is allowed back on track.
Yeah.
That will be Elje.
As soon as I said it, I don't know, Shref made me do it.
Shref made her do it, bringing her back on track. But if you're a jammer, wouldn't you just love to go back on track instead of being sent away from the track?
Of course, it's the ideal situation
That's
to
excellent.
be in, absolutely. So, starting with this jam, Kim Wilde, jammer for Amsterdam Derby Dames, starting in the penalty box. Full and correct amount of blockers on track for both teams. It is down to Elje to make her way through that pack now. She's got abs of steel and fuss to contend with. They're pushing her out of play. They're going to try and recycle her back. Will Rockcity Rollers blockers let her do that? Yes, they do. Elje recycled all the way to the back by abs of steel there. Betty Carnage also in attendance, but Elje managing to break free at long last. She's through for lead. Kim Wilde, though, now also out of that penalty box and looking to make a statement on track. Amsterdam Derby Dames with only 2 blockers to defend with, as Elje coming round for her scoring pass. 4 points picked up for the Rockcity Rollers.
We've just been informed that number 313, Kat Corgalore, has fouled out, and unfortunately she got a star pass violation, so she can join Ferocious, unfortunately, of Amsterdam Derby Dames, who's also fouled out. That is 2 foul outs, 1 on each side. Kat Corgalore, that was.
Kim Wilde coming round for her initial scoring pass, but that is not allowed by Elje, who completed 8 points there on that jam, calling it off just as Kim Wilde hits the back of the pack. So 8 points for Rockcity Rollers, 0 to Amsterdam Derby Dames, taking the scores 156 for Rockcity Rollers, 171 for Amsterdam Derby Dames. 13 minutes left of this game. The final. Here, go on, give it to me in Dutch.
I'll give it to you in Dutch. Bloed, skate en tranen. Blood, skates, and tears. And that's pretty much what's going on track. Not too much blood, though. We don't want that. However, Ezekiel in the lead, probably smelling blood. But no, the Great Tyrant is falling her quite quickly behind. Look at that. It's that fast call off. Please give me points. Did that work out?
Yeah, she went around the outside there looking for the points. Great Tyrant didn't pick up any.
No, and the idea is, of course, you want to jam through that pack as fast as possible to hope to pick up those 1 or 2 or 3 points, which is very stressful. 2 points it is, however many points you can grab. And that's a bit the tactic there of Ezekiel when she jams. Back on track. Oh, team timeout we're going to do first. Shredder was about to get going. Number 22 for Amsterdam. Dolly Death Star, the same thing. Look at them. They were even talking about it. We're ready to go, but the whistle blew. The after party's already started on track, basically. That's how that's going.
Dolly Death Star getting some support from the crowd there. She certainly made her mark jamming this weekend for the Rockcity Rollers.
She did indeed, and she's also one of the organizers of this wonderful skating fest this weekend.
Rockcity Rollers coming into the middle. I think they requested this official review.
They did indeed, if you look at it on the board, I believe so. As official review it is for Rockcity. We're going to sing a little bit too in the meantime. All kinds of, Dutch football kind of chanting.
Yeah, the Rockcity Rollers supporters leading the chants there.
For sure, they've got their mascot. We can see him now. There she is. Actually, it's a she. It's Lemke. It's a lamp. And of course, Eindhoven is well known for look at it, lights up too. Isn't that amazing?
I love lamp.
Okay, well, Lemke is the mascot of Eindhoven, known as our version of the City of Lights, because without any sponsor endorsement, Philips is, of course, a very big company around the world, and they are based here in Eindhoven.
Well, I have nothing else to say. I just love lamp.
You just love lamp?
Yeah. Loud noises.
I'll tell you what, they were selling keychains with lamps on them today. Maybe that's a future gift from me to you in the future.
Absolutely. If anybody wants to send me lamps, or yeah.
Okay, duly noted. And for anyone wondering what the 3 X's are, we all know what they are. They're St. Stephen's crosses. They have nothing to do with pornography. It is part of the symbol and flag of Amsterdam, worn very proudly on our flag that's waving everyone. Also, you can see them on Abs of Steel socks. Again, the St. Stephen's cross, the symbol worldwide of Amsterdam.
Thank you for that cultural lesson.
Well, people look at 3 X's and they go, ooh, what's that? But it's the flag, the part of the coat of arms of Amsterdam. And again, very recognizable.
I completely appreciate it.
There's a lot of smiling faces there as the captain and coaches have a discussion. And once we have any kind of information,
so we're going to find out about that official review in just one moment.
As the ref comes up to us to give us that information.
Right now, back to the action. Dolly Death Star jamming for the Rockcity Rollers. And that is number 22, Shredder for Amsterdam Derby Dames. Shredder called lead as Dolly Death Star knocked to the outside, recycled back. Strong defense being presented by Amsterdam. Dolly Death Star with the star stash. Manages to scooch around the outside, but Shredder back now on her initial scoring pass and looking to pick up some points for Amsterdam.
Shredder it was. In the meantime, I can also tell you about that official review. There was a forearms call called on the black jammer, but the no call stands.
So now we've got that cleared up. 3 points awarded to Amsterdam in that jam. 20-point differential right now. Of course, I didn't mean you clearing it up.
No, and
I saw your look of unhappiness then.
I want to be happy.
I didn't mean it like that. I just know that everybody would want to know at home, but now we've got that cleared up. Let's get back to the exciting roller derby.
Lee's Lightning. Lee's Lightning it is. And the Great Tyrants. Dealing out a bit of tyranny there out front. Lee's Lightning looking for the sweet spot through the pack. She's out, but she does have the Great Tyrant in front of her, who is lead jammer.
Yeah, the Great Tyrant. Not enough separation between those two jammers. Calls off the jam. As we say, we're at a 20-point differential right now. Rockcity Rollers 156. Amsterdam Derby Dames 176. 10 and a half minutes left of this game. Rockcity Rollers need to try and just get those points on the board if they want to become winners. Amsterdam, I think, desperate to at least just conserve or stretch out that point differential. It's not going to be easy. There is
No,
a
it's
lot
not.
of penalty pressure here for
There
both
is.
teams.
There is, with 2 foul outs already. You're absolutely right about that. We've got Elia on the track for Rockcity Rollers as
Ezekiel moves around the outside for
Mesmerized.
Amsterdam. But around the inside, called lead for Rock City. Ezekiel knocked inwards and recycled back by the Rock City blocking team.
Oh, what a hit there. Abs took a face plant. Not pleasant, but it was caught by the ref, which means that Elia goes to the box, and Ezekiel is going to enjoy a power jam. Power jam for Amsterdam.
Yeah, that was a 4 rounds penalty assessed to Elia for that hit on Abs of Steel. Abs of Steel now clearing the way for Ezekiel.
And Ezekiel is through the front. Ooh, gets a bit of a hit there by Sideshow Scatterbrain. Ooh, and that's going to cost Sideshow. But Ezekiel knows she's in control. She always feels confident when she knows she's on a scoring pass. She is going to concentrate. She knows what's at stake for her team as well. But sneaky Elia gets out and also picks up 4 points for the Rock City Rollers.
Yeah, Ezekiel now coming on round, but Elia off to the penalty box one more time.
Belief for an illegal re-entry, entirely possible. Something illegal. And there's a panty pass there. Major Knox picks it up for Amsterdam. Struggling a little bit to put it on. She's ready to roll, though.
Rock City with some penalty issues. A lot of havoc sitting in the penalty box. Of course, Elia sat there also serving her 30 seconds. As we're seeing
Major Knox, yeah.
Oh!
With a lot of knocking going on. I think there may be a discussion. Everything's okay. Killa Illa took a bumful of hit there.
And
by
will
Major
actually
Knox.
sit in the penalty box for that.
Oh, that's not good, of course. That means we have 2, right now we have 2 jammers there. We're going to have a bit of a discussion about it. And maybe an official review will be asked. I don't know.
Oh.
There's a discussion right now with the coach, Lola Rock'n'Rolla, with the captain.
Yeah, Major Knox was assessed a penalty. I didn't quite catch it. It was late on. The coach for Amsterdam Derby Dames was looking for an official review on this. But what's actually happening is
a foul out.
Yeah. And it will be number 22, Shredditor, who will sit in the place for Major Knox. Major Knox off to join her teammate Ferocious in the stands as she fouls out of this game. Now, of course, we did say just before this jam, Nasty Moves, that penalties were going to be a trouble. We know that quite a few of them are in the hot spot on the board, and they are playing to win. They are not taking it easy. They want to grab those points. It's 160 to 186, so only a 26-point differential. 7 minutes 40 left of this game.
But again, too, their packs are very, very fast. They're skating very fast. They're taking risks. They're making mistakes. Elbows flying a bit here, a bit of hitting there. And these small mistakes are adding up to quite a lot for a lot of the players. And even sometimes, twice in one jam, that's something you don't want to have, especially with your jammers. But that is a lack of concentration. But then again, that's because the pressure is really on right now for these 2 teams. We're still waiting for a jammer to be on track.
Well,
look at that.
Elia standing in the penalty box. 2 blockers out on track for Rockcity Rollers. Amsterdam Derby Dames with 4.
And we're going to watch the re-entry there as Elia is sent to the jam. We're going to back her up there, San Solo and company, trying to stretch that time out as far as they can.
Dolly Death Star looking to make a space. Elia not able to take it. Goes on for a little bit of one-on-one jamming with blocking with Lee's Lighting. Dolly Death Star yet again looking to clear away, but number 7, a lot of havoc, actually helps her out, giving her some great offensive moves. It is lead jammer for Elia.
Shredder, though, back on track, but as she comes back, is sent to the box again for a track cut, which means that Rockcity has the psychological advantage right now as this jam goes through the whole 2 minutes.
They have a little bit more than a psychological advantage with a jammer and a blocker. 2 blockers from Amsterdam Derby Dames off the track right now. They are certainly, in this jam, the strongest team. And Elye around the outside, sidestepping the blockers from the Derby Dames, picks up a further 5 points.
5 points it is.
I know.
Let's breathe. Let's all breathe and just try and keep the tension. And Lee's Lightning there giving a good hit to Elye. A nice legal one, trying to stop her. A little bit of desperation there from Elye, who was definitely on a good jam.
Shrediter back on track and in play for the Derby Dames. She's got a 4 wall of purple and green at the back, 2 wall up front for number 27, Elye. That's down to 1. That 1 being Lee's Lightning, who time and time again knocks down Elye. And Lee's Lightning, of course, telling her teammates, "Come on, get up here. We want to keep her at bay."
Shredder then trying to do it to it for Amsterdam, has not had a good time in this one. And look at that. This jam was totally won by Rockcity Rollers very, very clearly. Let's have a look at the points. It is 186 for Amsterdam. And look at that, 175 for Rockcity as that lead slowly dissolves between the two teams. We have 5 minutes and a bit more left, and the tension is rising. The volume is also rising in this wonderful stadium. Abs of Steel against Marcy Misbehave. Everyone has their number there. Marcy Misbehave trying to recycle, is being recycled. Abs of Steel, though,
I'm sorry,
is sent to the box. Can you believe that?
I can't believe she's been sent to the
happened.
box. I can't believe Marcy Misbehave finds the space wide open for her on the inside line. Of course, Amsterdam with that penalty trouble, meaning they only had a 1.1 blocker on top. 2 now with Petty Carnage, but that is a number 18. Or 138.
138 is Killa.
Yeah.
No worry, it's Killa with the fancy shorts.
Well,
usually doing it too. But look, Marcy Misbehave has all my attention right now on track. That is really where it's at for now.
Nasty, you know what has my attention? You know what has my attention? Amsterdam Derby Dames 186. Rockcity Rollers 190.
That's a lead change. That is a game changer for now, and the heat is on. Amsterdam has a lot to do to keep their title. They need to keep their head cool in these last few jams to make a difference.
So
And we're both very excited. I can feel it from here. Oh look, and they're going, oh look at that. We're gonna have an official timeout first. They're gonna be checking out the penalty. Yeah, that was very quick. Checking out the penalties, making sure.
3.5 minutes just left over of this game.
Are you ready for it? Are you ready for it?
Amsterdam Derby Dames starting with 3 blockers in that penalty box.
But the Great Tyrant, has the lead. Look at that. Lee's Lightning, no for Amsterdam, having a fight to get out of the pack. But the crowd is going wild for the Rockcity Rollers.
The Great Tyrant around the inside as Abs of Steel laid down a late challenge. 4 points picked up there. Jam is called.
The volume is being cranked up. 3 minutes to go. I'm getting just very giddy there. We're gonna put in Party Sparkle as a jammer. Look at that, number 82 for the first time. The fresh Party Sparkle, also a Team NL player. They're all friends. Marcy Misbehave, and we do have another foul out. Number 11, Abs of Steel, taken away by what I call the Grim Reaper, the ref that has to cart away. That is then the 3rd foul out for Amsterdam.
Now I do have to say, scores 194 for Rockcity Rollers, 186 Amsterdam Derby Dames. 3 minutes left. I don't think Amsterdam Derby Dames can give up yet. I don't think Rockcity Rollers can start celebrating just yet, because we have seen so many times in this tournament and even in this game how those changes can happen.
And look, Lola Rock and Roller, the coach, is just giving a pep talk to her players. She's saying it's crunch time. She's saying in a very nice soft voice. She's giving them a small pep talk because she can, because this is crunch time. It's gonna go crunch, crunch. It's gonna hurt. I can just feel you two trying to deal with the excitement. This is the Dutch champs, everyone. Bloed, Skate and Tranen 2015. We're getting ready to roll again on track with Party Sparkle and Marcy. And again, all friends of each other, but still, how they managed to keep so cool, knowing what's at stake. We are ready for it. Are you ready for it, Beatrix?
I am so ready to see this 4-2 pack advantage to the Amsterdam Derby Dames. I see Misbehave looking for the outside, inside line, knocked out slightly by Dirty Jobs, recycled behind a wall of 3 as Party Sparkle pushing forward on the 4 wall that is built by Rockcity Rollers. Party Sparkle pushing on, she gets on through, she's called lead jammer, and number 43, Lollipop, going in for a late challenge, doesn't quite land it. Marcy Misbehave though, also out of that pack right now. And Rockcity Rollers.
No, you do. Party Sparkle doing a great job at the moment for Amsterdam. She hasn't played a game in a very long time, but she is a very calm, cool, collected person and is trying to use that to her advantage. Good call on Amsterdam. Marcy Misbehave, though, is through for 4 points.
Party Sparkle also answering that with 4 points for Amsterdam. And Party Sparkle quite rightly calling off that jam as Marcy Misbehave hits the back of the pack, ready to pick up more points.
And look at those scores. It's really close. 198 for Rockcity out in front. And they took the lead here in the second half. Amsterdam Derby Dames, 190, 8-point difference, 1.5 minutes to go.
4-3 pack advantage, this time in favour of the Derby Dames. And they have the jammer, number 82. That is, of course, the great tyrant for the Rockcity Rollers.
But it's Ezekiel. I was too excited. Ezekiel, it is number 13. Through there, gets points, calls it off. And 4-point difference it is on the board. 50 seconds left. Hopefully we'll have a few more jams. We never know how many we'll have, how that will develop. But this is a seriously tight game. This is what I call a final. Exciting final.
It really is. Foul out now for Rockcity Rollers. Number 78, Go-Go-Zilla, off to sit in the stands for the final, 36 seconds and perhaps one jam of this game. And Rockcity Rollers are going to be starting this jam with only 2 blockers out on track. Dolly Death Star replacing Go-Go-Zilla in the penalty box. She will be pivot. Marcia Misbehave jamming for the Rockcity Rollers. And I'm sure just asking her teammates to just keep it cool, keep it calm.
Oh, I can pretty much tell you that's when to go, because it's the only thing you can do now. You can't undo any of this. We're getting ready to start again. Pack stretched out. Only 2 blockers for Rockcity Rollers, 4 for Amsterdam, and a little jockeying for position there between Marcy Misbehave and Lee's Lightning.
Lee's Lightning looking to make sure her own teammates picked up Marcy and Misbehave, which they didn't manage to contain. She's through for lead, but Lee's Lightning also finding that space now. Marcy and Misbehave slowly entering the pack. She's not going to want to risk it too much. She's checking in with the clock, doesn't want to call it off and risk a timeout being called. The blockers for Rockcity looking to hunt down Lee's Lightning. Marcy and Misbehave coming round. Her second scoring pass. 4 points on the board for Rockcity right now. And Marcy and Misbehave calling off the jam. 4 points also scored for Amsterdam Derby Dames.
Unofficial score for right now, although the Rockcity Rollers are already way celebrating. 202 for the Rockcity Rollers, 198 for Amsterdam, and what a party it is already there on the Rockcity bench. It is the unofficial score, though. It is the unofficial score. There's Lemke, there's your friend Lemke doing a glory round there for sure. But we are going to wait till the word final. Final says on the board. People are getting ready to celebrate no matter what we do, Beatrix.
Well, my goodness, what a final game for this, the second Dutch champs. Really showcasing the level of skill here.
And I believe it's the fourth time these girls have played each other, and at least 3 times in a major tournament. And there it is, everyone. It is for real. The Rockcity Rollers are the new Dutch champions, and they should be thrilled about it. Fantastic, well done. Amsterdam Derby Dames, of course, finishing second in this tournament. But let's give it up for the Rockcity Rollers, because that is what's going on screen at the moment. I can't contain myself. I am just unbelievably surprised. You were getting giddy as well watching this.
Yeah, I think it was a very exciting game. Obviously, knowing that there was the penalty pressures faced by both teams, I think made it that little bit more so. Of course, Amsterdam, I don't think started off the game the way they would have liked.
That's absolutely true.
There was the few jams at the beginning that really kind of set them up to have some foul outs later on in the game, where there seemed to be continual penalties being assessed. To be fair on both teams, and as we've said time and again throughout this game, it really means something. It really
does. This really does for the Rockcity Rollers. And in a way, maybe Amsterdam also, a lot of them all play each other. But it is true, for a bit of a lead change, if we'd like, in the Dutch derby landscape, the Eindhoven Rockcity Rollers have worked very hard to be number 1 in the Netherlands, and now they have the right to say it. And they really, really, really deserve it. What a close game, though, for the audience. I think everyone here had a great time looking at it. And well done, Rockcity Rollers.
Yeah, and fantastic, of course, that this final game could be streamed here on rollerderbytv.com.
We're very, very lucky to have had the guys over here setting up the stream. They are friends of the players, and they wanted to watch the stream as well. Make sure everyone could enjoy this final, and I think a lot of enjoyment will be had soon enough by both teams, but especially by Eindhoven's Rockcity Rollers, the new Dutch champion for 2015.
Oh, just give me the name of that tournament one more time in your wonderful Dutch nasty.
Bloed, zweet en tranen, en de winnaars voor dit jaar zijn de Rockcity Rollers.